I'm off screen now. It's getting dark. I'm chilling. Welcome one, welcome all, y'all. Sorry for the delay. I went longer on the second channel. Y'all, this Blueface Krishan Rock Nabel thing is it's something else. Yeah, that's what Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea is all about. We go over there and talk about true crime and gossip. yeah, that's what it's for. Over here, we're gonna go over Candace motion to dismiss in the Brian Harper lawsuit. Candace, you dumb coward. So this little heifer does not want to go to court, apparently. But what she will do is sit here and beg people to sue her. Sue her because she thinks she's going to get subpoena power. Boy, this is something else. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hit that like button. I'm trying to get the case up now. It's my understanding that what's his name? Mitch Snow also filed a motion to dismiss as pro se. Thank you, Velvet, for tuning in. Francisca, shout out to the Mars, you all. Y'all do what Francisca tell you to do now. Hit that like button. Make sure you guys share this content. Check out the second channel live stream we did. I ran over a little bit. By a good 30 minutes. Y'all, one of the girls do voodoo and they call it good voodoo. How does that work? No, there's no good voodoo. She has the same beliefs as Umar Johnson, his Oompa Loompa ass. I'm telling y'all, that's a whole thing on its own. I don't think I've ever heard anybody admit to doing voodoo and then try to call it good. What you? That's so demonic. So hit the like button, y'all. Velvet up in here. Like number 2. Nikki B number 3. Mackenzie. Gina. What's going on? Jackie. Colleen. Hit the like button and tell me what number you are. The S-Files. Shout out to the mods. Shout out to the mods. Miss Claymore. Candy Cope on her show right now. Candace. Candace, you dumb demon. You having your whole tantrum? No. She having a tantrum? Candace, that's all you're doing. Throwing a tantrum. Hold on, let me switch over. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club and the Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea. Y'all, oh man. Whole lot of good things over there going on Sweet Tea. That's the gossip channel, y'all. If y'all just want to gossip, be like, oh, what's she talking about over here? Come on over to the Lady Luck Club with Sweet Tea and check out the content, subscribe, and hit that like button. Candace. She up here throwing a tantrum. Oh my God. So hold on, let me Ami did a new video again. Hold on, I'm trying to I wanted to see what video she referred. Y'all know I don't like to get her show. I really don't. I really don't like to give her a view. Lord have mercy. Is there a video I can check out, like summarizing what she said, throwing her tantrum? I may be tagged in on X. Hold on. Tag me on X of her video. Oh God. This girl is she be, Candace, why are you mad? You lost the debate. If you think you won it, then what are you upset about? What are you upset about? If you think you won the debate, then what are you doing? What you doing? What's your gripe? She having a whole tantrum. Hold on, Leon. I'm gonna put it. Oh God. Behind the scenes of the great debate, TPUSA is the biggest loser. Why are you going on TPUSA? Candace, you dumb moron. This has nothing to do with TPUSA. Andrew Wilson is his own individual. So she's trying to push this on TPUSA. Candace, you're a clown. You don't even know how to lose. No, it's TPUSA fault. They lost. They weren't even there. Oh, you precious, precious demon. Candace, you're a demon. You're a whole demon. And this guy was just ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not giving her a view. If someone can send me a video or tag me on something, we'll check that out. Otherwise, child, Candace, you can kick rocks. You just gonna be big mad until Jesus returns. You're having a whole tantrum. Ooh, okay, so let me put up partial motion to dismiss. Lord have mercy. I want to pull this up. Okay, I'm gonna pull up this document. It's 35 pages. We're gonna go through it. You guys do read and keep up with this. So I'm not gonna go through all of it, but I definitely want to go through some of it because I enjoy doing this. I do. Candace, we read over here in the Lady Luck Club. And then you know what's so awesome? I could like actually rely on you all actually read. Because you all do. Okay. There is a summary that goes with this. I'm gonna pull this up though. All right. Here we go. Candace out here throwing a tantrum. Accusing TPUSA of losing and then realizing they're not even there. It's crazy work. Candace, that's crazy. We got it. Playing the case of Brian Harper, plaintiff, versus Candace Owens et al. Oh, Owens' defendants want partial motion to dismiss plaintiff's complaint for failure to state a claim. 2, Tennessee Public Participation Act petition to dismiss plaintiff's complaint. And 3, partial motion to strike an incorporated memorandum of law. This is so crazy. You actually think this is gonna work, Candace? No. What's going on, D Hampton? How you doing? I see you up in here. CC, welcome back. Cheryl, hey boo, Saint. Girl, you gotta go. Y'all gotta go to the second channel. We're talking about Blueface and Krishan Rock and Nevaeh, and that girl does voodoo. It's our best over there. Oh, God. Y'all. What's going on, Jim? How you doing, honey? Y'all, Jim is Patriot Posse. How you doing? How you doing, Jeep lady? Y'all get everybody moky. Oh, shout out to all of you all. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Mari, I see you up in here. Busting about Andrew's team. She just busting about everybody. Oh, shit, I see you up in here. Candace, the team had nothing to do with anything. See, stars? Cry, baby. Not yet. Yeah, the team had nothing to do with nothing. We might catch a little of her video. If I could find a shorter version, that would be awesome. Like if there's a summary video or something like that, I'm fine with that. But, oh, God. Did someone else cover her video? Which child? Okay. So, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I just want to kind of skim through it. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated on September 10, 2025, plaintiff Brian Harper was the head of security firm responsible for protecting him. That undisputed fact provides the obvious alternative explanation for the loss in professional standing plaintiff claims to have suffered. How? Then they cite case law here, Ashcroft v. Iqbal 556 U.S. C62 682 case from 2009. Yet plaintiff blames Candace Owens instead. He never blamed her. She defamed him. He blamed her for the defamation and for the loss of revenue because of said defamation. No one went out and butchered this man like Candace did. It's ridiculous. Owens is a commentator, podcaster, dumb, social media figure, blah, 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 who commented on the security failures that enabled Kirk's murder. It did not enable Kirk's murder. That's where she's wrong. Literally. Owens presented her opinions on a matter of intense public interest that no one asked her for, and then she purported it to be a matter of fact with affirmative allegations. Offer her assessment, to which she is not qualified to give because she's not a security anything. She's barely educated. That plaintiff performed his security duties poorly. We don't care. Based on Owens' podcast commentary about Kirk's assassination, plaintiff sues Candace Owens LLC, and Georgetown Inc. collectively for defamation, false light, civil conspiracy, and aiding and abetting. Because she accused him of going to a military base to be a part of some secret meeting with government figureheads from the U.S. Army on how to cover up the murder of Charlie Kirk. Whole videos dedicated to that. Hence why this motion to dismiss is a partial. There's certain fundamental basics they cannot deny. I thought Barry Coleman said it was going to be a full dismissal. Well, attorneys are only seeking a partial. 7 independent defects require dismissing plaintiff's claims against the Owens defendants, either in whole or in part. First, the alleged statements are actionable opinions, rhetorical hyperbole, and questions incapable of a defamatory meaning. Second, plaintiff is a limited purpose public figure. No, he's not. He went out defending himself. He did not become a public figure who must prove actual malice. He did. Yet he pleads negligence and does not plausibly allege facts supporting actual malice. Third, plaintiff fails to plausibly allege casually connected damages. And the most obvious explanation, the fact that he has his own security detail business and she went out and defamed him and attacked him relentlessly, demanded that he has an interview with her. And if not, her retaliation was more defamation. And he lost business because of that. It's the casually connected damages. Period. It's called tort. She interfered with his ability to make money. The most obvious explanation for plaintiff's reputational harm is that the person plaintiff was hired to protect was assassinated on his watch, beyond his control, through no fault of his own, through no fault of a lapse in security. A man went up to the top of a rooftop of a building and shot him. It's like someone coming down out of an airplane and parachuting down and they're shooting along the way. How do you control that? What type of security do you set up for that type of scenario? Unless you have people on the roof surrounding the garden that Charlie Kirk was sitting in, to which he effectively was sitting in a bowl. Like the kill box. So anyone with higher elevation has the advantage. So how do you literally control that unless you put people on the roof of every building around Charlie Kirk? What is the feasibility of that? Those are questions that the jury is going to ask. Fourth, plaintiff's false light claim is redundant of his defamation claims and should be stricken. How is it redundant when you claim that he failed to state a claim to begin with? Y'all see how they telling on themselves? Look at this. Look at this right here. Plaintiff's false light claim is redundant of his defamation claims, but you said he failed to state a claim altogether. So they already effed up right here. Either he failed to state a claim or it's redundant. Pick one. What's going on, Elena? I see you up in here. Shout out to all of you all. Mindy, thank you so much. Oh, listen. When y'all have time, please watch Jay Dryer's video on Andrew Steele debate. It's a professional debate using psychology methods to analyze the debate. It's fab and hilarious. Tag me on the video. Can you tag me on X? Y'all, Milk Bar get ready to go live too. Ooh, child. We're not gonna be fair with y'all. Let me see. If you can tag me in on it, on that debate, on that video, Mindy, we'll check it out. All right, let's get back to it. Fifth, the plaintiffs, so they're saying the false light claim is redundant, and they want that straight. They want that stricken. It can't be redundant if you're saying they didn't state a claim to begin with. So that means you should not even be acknowledging defamation claims. Should be saying he failed to state a claim altogether. It doesn't matter what it is about. God, it's so dumb. Plaintiff's civil conspiracy and aiding and abetting claims fail because they are specific intent towards incompatible with the negligence theory. Plaintiff pleads, and they rest on fatally conclusory assertions beyond that. Oh, wow. Never mind what your client has done. I'm saying, because he was head of security, it's automatically his fault. No. Certain things just beyond his control. You have to ask, what would be the reasonability of being able to provide adequate security at a university campus as large as UVU, where you have manpower on the rooftop of every building surrounding Charlie Kirk? What is the feasibility of that? Even if they had the UVU police officers as well as local police officers aiding and assisting, you understand how much manpower it would take to secure that type of venue with 2,000 to 3,000 people out there, where one person went on the top of a roof, got the vantage point, able to gain the advantage by just simply being elevated, and over 150 yards away, 150 feet away? What you mean? So how can someone realistically set up a security plan with their detail to keep that from happening? Those are the questions the jury is going to be asking here. And they're saying, well, it's his fault that this happened because his security detail there are a lot of errors based on what our client said. Your client is not an expert. We don't give a damn what she said. That's part of the problem. She's putting her foot in her mouth, making affirmative allegations and provable false statements. She's not giving her opinion of anything. She's trying to assert herself as an expert in knowing how to set up security details, trying to point out what his so-called fallacies were that are literally beyond reason. Remember, you all, when it comes to these civil matters, it comes down to what the reasonable viewer and listener and reader is able to deduce. It is not reasonable or feasible to expect someone to come up with a security plan that involves coverage on every single rooftop on a campus like that when all he did was tour campuses and had debates. This is the first time any of that has ever even been attempted. And unfortunately, the killer got the vantage point and was able to execute him. So her attorneys would be faced with the challenge of saying, our client just gave an opinion about the fallacies of a security detail, something to which she knows nothing about. Does that make sense? Hit the phone. She's not an expert in this. Candace don't know shit. She's a moron and a demon. What she does not know is how to set up a security perimeter of any sort, or how to read laws or a lawsuit. So her opinions caused this man to lose business because they weren't being said as her opinions. They were being said as affirmative allegations, to the point where it was convincing to people that could have been potential clients or his current clients. And they decided, because of that influence, to disconnect their business with him. So he lost revenue. That is the damage that he's able to prove, that Candace is saying he can't prove. Does that make sense? Hit the phone. Y'all, this is why I like going over this stuff, because this is what we are. Can y'all hear me? Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Somebody say I had some sound. Whoop. Yeah, glad you got your booty over here. Oh, Sarah. How was our LLC baby doing? What did the mama? This gotta be what? 4 5 months? No. Tina said she driving, girl. Be careful. Somebody said no sound. Tammy, can you hear me? Okay, cool. We good? All right, cool. Tammy, you good? Beep, beep. Who got the keys to the G? Keep lady. Okay. Every time I see your name, I think about this song. PBD said Erica had no business running Charlie's and she needed to hand it over. He was very nasty on that show, and I hadn't watched him until this. Yeah, no, because he's sitting here mad as hell. He big mad for whatever reason. Candace is not smart enough to be a CEO of anything. Exhibit A, Blexit. She ran Blexit in the damn dirt to hell, right next to her minions, and bled Blexit dry within 3 fiscal years. Most businesses have the true test of durability within the first 1 to 3 years, right? Either it's going to succeed or fail. Candace literally ran it in the ground without mercy. She ran Blexit in the ground by $1.72 million. So for her to be sitting around here thinking that she'd be able to run TPUSA better, girl, you better get your ass on somewhere and sit down, kick rocks, and read a book. Read a book. Candace, shouldn't you be breaking water? Yeah. How long has she been claiming she's 7 months? For 2 months in a row? Candace been saying she's 7 months pregnant, 2 months in a row. Your Honor, Candace Owens is an idiot. She can't even count numbers. She's been stuck at 7 months pregnant for 2 months. What you mean? Child boo. Based on my calculations, Candace ought to be somewhere breaking water soon. What we talking about? Candace, you're not going to run shit but your mouth. And you can barely do that right, because you can't pronounce words properly. All the judge is going to have to do is this. Ma'am, can you come to the stand and explain to us the difference between thunder and lightning? Her attorney's going to be like, no! Your Honor, please don't swear in. All they got to do is ask Candace to go to the stand and be placed under oath, and then ask her to explain the difference between thunder and lightning. And 7 times 4. Now we up to 7 times 5. Candace, what's 7 times 5? Because she a dumb fuck. What are we doing? Oh, let's finish this up, y'all. Oh, my God. 6, the Tennessee Public Participation Act, TPPA, independently requires dismissal of plaintiff's claims because reasons. They didn't even say why. 7th, plaintiff seeks unconstitutional injunctive relief. Unconstitutional. No, Candace, you cost this man $20 million. You got the money. Kick rocks. The Owens defendants thus request that this court dismiss plaintiff's claims against them and award them fees, costs, and expenses under the TPPA. Girl. So they got legal standards they're citing. Weaponizing law is not the same as correctly interpreting law. Big difference. The survival motion to dismiss under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 12b-6, a complaint must contain sufficient factual matter accepted as true to state a claim to relief that is plausible on its face, and it must raise more than a possibility that a defendant has acted unlawfully. And they have case law cited. A claim is facially plausible when the plaintiff pleads factual content that allows the court to draw the reasonable inference that the defendant is liable for the misconduct alleged. She conspired to defame him with Mitch Snow on her show by lying that he was on a military base with no evidence, a fake-ass incident report, no videos, no photos that Mitch Snow claims he gave to Candace Owens. Candace, Mitch Snow threw you under the bus, you dumb demon. So here's the part where this evidence comes into play. Y'all remember when I said Mitch Snow threw her under the bus? Yeah. Because see right here, factual content, you would need evidence to support that. Mitch Snow claims there is actual evidence that exists. Pay attention. And that he gave it all to Candace Owens. Even though she's never released it, nobody else has seen it. And he claims that she is now the rightful owner of said evidence, videos, and photos. He also alleged that he has phones in a security box, a safety security box. We don't know said phones. It could be the 12 phones from Israel. Who knows? 12 phones from Israel, each one representing the 12 tribes of Judah. That Candace keeps rambling on about. Could be sitting in safety security boxes that belong to Mitch Snow. Go figure. Candace, that's exactly what I'm going to say until I see evidence otherwise. So Mitch Snow is the one that's got those 12 Israeli phones sitting in safety security boxes. Meanwhile, he has made it known to the public that Candace Owens is the rightful owner of video and photo evidence that would prove Brian Harper and Erica Kirk was on a military base to attend a meeting to conspire to cover up the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Y'all following me? Candace, you're still dumb and slow. And somehow you don't realize that Mitch Snow threw your dumb ass underneath the bus. Nah, he pushed her right out in front of it. And then let the bus run over her and then go backwards and then go forward again. 6 more times. Because here, this is where you got this factual content that comes into play, Candace. If there be evidence, why hide it? Why would Mitch Snow claim that you're now the rightful owner of evidence no one has seen? He didn't even bring it up on the day he went on your show. And you raised $150,000 damn dollars for that turtle head that's got a robotic cockroach. Transformers, Autobots, and Decepticons living in his damn Ziploc bag in his house as cockroaches. Can't make this shit up, man. He gonna bring that cockroach to court. Your Honor, this thing came in with the package that Candace Owens sent me. Candace, you sent that man a robotic transformer Autobot cockroach. She's so stupid. Threat-bearer recitals of the elements of a cause of action supported by mere conclusive restatements do not suffice. Yeah, just saying it with no evidence is not going to work. No, there's sufficient evidence. It's called her videos. He said it. He did. Repeatedly, over and over again. Reached out to the man, demanded an interview, and then he was like, kick rocks. And she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna retaliate because I'm big mad. And you don't want to interview, you don't want me to interview you. You had the chance to come tell me what's right or wrong. Candace, they don't owe you shit. Problem is, Candace doesn't listen. So even if you give her the evidence, because that's exactly what Erica Kirk did for 4.5 hours in Tennessee, guess what? She's gonna go back out there and double down and keep lying. This is what happens when you keep doing it. You've already proven malice, Candace, because you're a moron. A legal conclusion couched as a factual allegation need not be accepted as true, nor are recitations of the elements of a cause of action sufficient. Yeah, okay. When a complaint fails to allege necessary element of the claim, it must be dismissed. That's based on what they are theorizing, not what has actually been proven and ruled upon. Further, when adjudicating a Rule 12b-6 motion, a court may consider exhibits attached to the defendant's motion so long as they are referred to in the complaint and are central to the claims contained therein. Ooh, Candace, you got exhibits. She got exhibits. Hold on, let me go. Let me see. It's all her episodes. Oh, God. All right, you guys. Happy Monday. Okay, so it's a transcript of her shows. You didn't even highlight them? Candace, you're so stupid. Your attorneys are lazy. I'm looking at the exhibits. They're her shows transcripts. Nothing's highlighted or tagged. It's the entire transcript. 42 pages. What you mean? Candace, the court is not reading all this bullshit. Why this is something else? Oh, Candace, you sound even dumber in the transcript. It's all the transcripts of different shows. The Sean Ryan episode and the interview Brian Harper did with Gary from Paramount Tactical. It's the transcripts. None of this stuff highlighted. They don't highlight anything. This transcript is 200 pages. The interview between Gary and Brian Harper. 200 pages. They didn't highlight a damn thing. So they want the judge to read all this shit as exhibits for her partial motion to dismiss. No help from a jury at all. The judge got to read all this. You can't make this up. They didn't highlight nothing. They just say, no, just go to page so-and-so. Start at line number 17. Candace, this is so dumb. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. This is so dumb. So y'all see here? This is an exhibit. This is the exhibit number 7, Gary Melton, Brian Harper interview. Docket number 31, attachment 7. It is 200 pages. It's the transcript of that interview. However, you all see here the numbers here? This is the line numbers on the page. So when you're citing the exhibit itself, you can say exhibit number 7, page number, what's this? Page number 3, see that up there? Line number 4, start there. Lines 4 through 14. So that you can tell the judge, this is the paragraph that's most important. I'm just pointing out something hypothetically. This is how they should have addressed and cited the exhibit in their filing. They would have to give the page number, the line number, and then say what line numbers you want the judge to read that is relevant to the point you're making in your filing. Are you kidding me? This is 200 pages. The judge is not reading all this shit. Y'all, judges don't like to read all this stuff. Just as an FYI, judges don't want to have to do all this reading. I'm just going to keep this up. So, oh God. Oh, they really did that. Oh my God. Further, when adjudicating a Rule 12b-6 motion, the court may consider exhibits attached to defendant's motion to dismiss so long as they are referred to in the complaint and are central to the claims. You refer to them, but what, you're not citing the page numbers or anything? They really want this judge to read 200 pages of a damn transcript. That's so lazy. Thus ensuring the defamation actions proceed only upon statements which may actually defame a plaintiff is an essential gatekeeping function of the court. And then they cited more case law. Whether communication is capable of a defamatory meaning is a question of law. And if the alleged defamatory words are not reasonably capable of the meaning of the plaintiff ascribes to them, the court must disregard the latter interpretation. That's based on what they're saying, though. It's not based on what they've actually proven. They're just citing case law and just saying, here's why we think that this should be dismissed. Not that it's worth it. Y'all, 200 pages. That transcript was 200 pages. That's just for one of these 7 exhibits. Candace's shows are like 40 pages. And it's 5 of those. Then you got the Sean Ryan interview that Brian Harper did and the Gary Melton one. Come on. Oh my God. The Sean Ryan interview was what? 3 hours long? Can you imagine how long that transcript is? Boy, this is ridiculous. Each statement should be read as a person of ordinary intelligence would understand. Y'all remember when I said the reasonable person, reasonable viewer, reasonable listener, reasonable reader? That's what this means. In these civil proceedings, an ordinary intelligence, meaning you didn't go to law school, just a reasonable average citizen reading this complaint should be able to understand it as it is written. Shouldn't have to require another breakdown of it because there's a jury demand and your jury of your peers 80% of the time did not go to law school. Does it make sense? Hit the phone. So they want the reasonable viewer, reasonable reader, listener to be able to understand this stuff. You should not require a law degree to read it and understand what you're reading. In light of the surrounding circumstances, statements also must be considered in context. All parts of a published article should be construed as a whole. The plausibility pleading standard applies to the actual malice standard in defamation proceedings. So basically, did the person know that they were making provable false statements? Did they know that they were defaming somebody, causing tortious interference? Because, Candace is a moron. She doesn't care. Let's see here. The TPPA permits a party sued in response to its exercise of the right of free speech. Now they're trying to say, oh, she's a journalist, so she gets to say all this dumb shit. Yeah, because laws. Nope. To petition the court to dismiss the legal action. Tennessee Code Annotation Statute 20-17-104A. The petitioning party must first make a prima facie case that a plaintiff's claim relates to the petitioner's exercise of First Amendment protected rights. The burden then shifts to the plaintiff to establish a prima facie case for each essential element of the claim. Even then, the court shall dismiss the legal action if the petitioning party establishes a valid defense to the claims. Saying that she's an independent journalist is not valid. Because even with that, you can't just go out and make provable false statements, accuse someone of committing a crime. There's a difference. You're accusing this man of committing a crime. Covering up an assassination is a crime that is punishable with prison time. You're not just saying, oh, I think he's an idiot and he's stupid. No, you went out of your way to say, well, this guy's going to come on my show and then allege that I have all the evidence of videos and photos putting Brian Harper on a military base, Fort Huachuca, to go to some meeting that was specifically established to cover up the assassination of the murder of a civilian on a U.S. Army base. And this idiot Mitch Snow is going to corroborate that and claim to have evidence that he's going to make me the rightful owner of at some point. Here's why he threw her underneath the bus. And her dumb ass did not notice. Candace, do you even care at this point? Do you care? I don't think Candace cares. And she thinks that, no, they'll get dismissed. Don't worry. No, that's not how that works. So while she's trying to cry, oh, it's my First Amendment right to lie like hell. No, it's not. You're lying about him aiding in the cover-up of a murder. That is grotesque and heinous. You don't get to just falsely accuse people of committing a crime, even when it comes to cover up or aiding or abetting after the fact or whatever. You don't get to accuse people of that. So, no. The TPPA's application to lawsuit filed in federal court is an unsettled question in the Sixth Circuit. And mind you all, this has all been elevated up to the Sixth Circuit now. Because all of the district judges in the Middle District of Tennessee had to recuse themselves because Candace hired one dumbass attorney who tried to sue the whole court because why can't I just go out and blab about this? Sometimes it's okay to be silent and shut your ass up. Let's see here. I'm going to go down. Your last facts. Oh, God. Brian Harper is the founder and head of Integrity Security Solutions, a private security company that provided protective services for Charlie Kirk TPUSA from 2022 to 2025. Plaintiff sues on his own behalf and purports to sue on behalf of non-party Integrity Solutions, seeking damages exceeding $75,000. This is standard. Minimum damages need to be $75,000 or more in order for it to qualify as a federal lawsuit complaint. Makes sense? Hit the phone. Candace is a moron. Candace. You got Mitch Snow out here saying you got all this evidence. I'm just wondering, like, why? How's she gonna defend that in court? Like, Your Honor, I don't have any of that stuff. I gave it over. Now it's in the rightful hands of the owner. Candace Owens is the owner, not me. They're gonna sit down there and look at him and then scowl and get mad and then have demons squealing in her head. And it's gonna be a whole thing. Boy, I would love to attend that hearing and report on it in real time. Candace Owens is a commentator, podcaster, Dum Who Wants Gum Gum. September 10, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at Utah Valley University. Let's see. I'm just kind of skimming over this, y'all. Plaintiff did not remain on the sidelines of the controversy. Instead, plaintiff entered the controversy himself on huge national platforms and on his own terms. It was not to become a public figure. It was to defend himself against the defamatory false statements that Candace was making, to which he's entitled to do under Tennessee law. Because that's what they're trying to say. Well, he came out and he said something on a couple podcast shows, and now he's a public figure. No, he's not. Not even for a limited time only. Because that's the terminology they use. Limited public figure. No, he's not. So there's a bunch of, requirements that you have to meet in order for someone to be deemed by the court to be a public figure, even a limited one. He's coming out because, okay, I got to put a kibosh on these defamatory statements because it's ruining my business. I'm losing money because this dumbass girl is a demon from hell and she won't shut the hell up and leave my name out her mouth. And he's got to correct the record. That is how you help prove the malice. Now that you've been told the truth, you're going to keep going out here and doubling down and still lying like hell? Gotcha. So he decided to sue him. Even after doing that twice. Now, I'm not out here trying to be a public figure. As a matter of fact, my employees and their spouses were doxxed by Candace's retarded ass cult. They were doxxed. We haven't been able to live in peace since then. We already feel bad and guilty. Last thing we need is this moron who has no expertise in security at all whatsoever. She could barely say the word rhetoric. To go out and have her dumb cult members dox me and my entire security detail and their spouses who do not work for me. So innocent people have been cyber harassed, doxed, bullied, all of the sorts, because they simply work for the company. Because Candace is stupid as hell and refuses to give us her alibi. Imagine that. Candace out here allegedly paying Tyler Robinson and she refuses to give up her alibi. Where the hell were you at, Candace? September 10th? Meanwhile, she wants Brian Harper to be painted in a negative limelight that starts to actually hinder his business. And when he comes out and corrects the record in 2 different appearances, not because he wanted to be catapulted to this public figure, vigilante. No, he's just simply defending his business and his name and his character. Does that make sense? So in accordance with Tennessee law, there's a difference in that. The difference in you going out, I got to defend my reputation, my character, and my business because this dumbass broad is going to sit here and cause me to lose money. Because she refuses to read a book and pay George some attention. Versus she's out spreading all this nonsense. Let me go out and I'm going to put out some statements hoping that she'll stop attacking Erica Kirk. Like, that's the stuff that people like myself and Gary from Paramount Tactical, Artie Trolls, David, Edie Marie. You got content creators, independent journalists, other influencers that are actually trying to curb all the lies that she's telling, where she's attacking Erica Kirk and TPUSA relentlessly for no damn reason when she could just mind her own business, go do something else. That's not what Brian Harper wanted to do. His goal was, I got to correct the record because she's attacking me and my business. And my people, my employees are being doxxed. They're being cyber harassed and bullied and targeted. And once he went out there and after he did the second appearance, guess what he did? He took it to the house and he said, I'm going to sue the shit out of her and I'm going to sleep peacefully. That's it. That's what happened. See, you all understand that? There's a huge difference. And the law defines that difference. The law says this person is not out trying to make himself into a public figure. He's not trying to represent the community. He's not playing the role of some, elected official, vigilante. He's not doing that. Living his own private life. He has the right to go out and defend himself publicly and set the record straight. So when he went out and corrected the record in these interviews, that's all he was doing. He wasn't out trying to sit here and represent himself in that limelight where he's a public figure now. No, the reasonable person would not deduce that. They will see him as someone that came out, as he said, and corrected the record because Candace was lying. She was just flat out lying. And it was causing damages and he was losing revenue to his business. Is that direct and straightforward? The law allows you to be able to do that without you necessarily being considered a public figure while you're doing it. Hit the 4 if that makes sense. So once they establish that requirement that he's out defending his integrity, his character, his business, his employees, and not to just be a public figure, now he has what this actionable claim is, and he has the right to claim damages, to claim tort. Does that make sense? So, let's go through. I'm trying to get down. It's not long. That was background information. Make sure you guys read all this stuff up. I'm sure many of you have. And of course, Nicholas Brooks does a great breakdown. You have a few attorneys that's reporting on this. The argument is each challenge statement is non-actionable opinion, rhetorical hyperbole, or a question incapable of defamatory meaning. Oh, child. And it just kind of repeated what they said in the beginning. The should be fired commentary is opinion based on facts Ms. Owens disclosed. He was a contractor. You can't terminate it. You can terminate the contract. But saying he should be fired, that's not for you to determine. He would have to violate the terms of his contract that he has with the client, that being TPUSA. So you can't be fired from that. Candace says the dumbest shit, and she doesn't realize how stupid it is until you read it in a lawsuit. And then they're trying to explain what she meant when she said should be fired. How? He's contracted. Candace, how you get fired as a contractor? If they decide to sever business with him, that's on their own choosing. But not because you say he should be fired when you don't know how contracts work, you dumbass. Plaintiff's complaint omits critical context the transcript supplies. Because they didn't cite the y'all see this? 30 through 31, 87, A, 102C. They don't even cite the exhibit itself with the page number. It just says see exhibit 4. Y'all see that? This is what I mean. So they expect this judge to read that whole thing. See exhibit, Candace, episode 267 at 21, 7 through 22. That's the timestamp, right? (21:7-22:7). So page 7, lines 21, 22. That's the only way I can make this out. Otherwise, they expecting this man to read 200 pages at BS. It's quintessential opinion commentary. It is a conclusion based on facts laid out for listeners who were left free to draw their own conclusions. You can't say it's a fact and an opinion at the same time. Which one is it? You're giving her opinion, she's giving facts. Because facts don't care about your opinions or your feelings. So which one was she doing? You can't, you laying out your opinions and you trying to pass them off as facts. That's not how that works. So when you sit here and say based on facts, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence that support Candace's opinions to be rendered a fact? It is a fact that we're breathing in air. That includes oxygen molecules. That's a fact. It is a fact that water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a fact. There are facts, that's information documentation to back up that fact that water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's my opinion to say that the sky looks like it has a teal hue, not necessarily blue. So it's not something that's actually proven just based on my observation. There's a difference. Either she's giving an opinion or she gave us a set of facts. But her opinions are not fucking facts. Because Candace can't even read. What are we talking about? That's what I mean. Candace can barely read. Hey, Daisy. Good to see you. How you doing? Oh. Let's see here. Phyllis. What's going on, Phyllis? Wish with all that in me, Andrew could have heard me yelling for him to ask her about calling Erica by her maiden name, and she hopes she outlines all to suffer. I'm sure he I'm sure he didn't know that, but was needed. Yeah, I even said that during the live reaction. Just help her call her by her maiden name. Talking about Erica Fox. Say, girl, you don't shut your ass up. Candace, sit your ass down. Amber Rose, because we can all do this. She don't even use a Farmer in her official last name. Candace, why don't you change your name to Candace Farmer? Candace Farmer. Farmer Candace. When you going to start using your actual married last name on legal documents and on your show? Why is your LLC still Candace Owens LLC? Why is it not Candace Owens Farmer or Candace Farmer? I mean, seriously. You love your husband so much, you know, your fake and gay husband. Why don't you just change your last name to your married name? Candace, no one told you you couldn't hyphenate. You can hyphenate your last name. This is the same heifer that's sitting here walking around still literally running whole channels and businesses, LLCs, under her maiden name. But you won't even pick up his last name. George said that was not what we agreed upon. No, never, nothing, no, just never, not Lady Luck. Don't even recommend that. You don't want her to carry his last name. Does the kid's last names end with Farmer or what? Candace, how stupid does this get again? He is being hypocritical as hell. Calling Erica Kirk by her maiden name. Meanwhile, Candace won't even use her married name. Go figure. She's a moron. Candace is 10% owner of Georgetown Inc. at the very least, and that's all the law requires. She is 100% owner of Candace Owens LLC. Candace, you can't keep lying talking about, I don't have them LLCs. They're not mine. No, they all yours, and you filed this with a federal court. So, meanwhile, Candace doesn't know the difference between opinion and facts because reading. And we all drew our own conclusions. Her culture's stupid, and we know she's not stating facts either. Meanwhile, Miss Snow threw you underneath the bus because, Candace, you said your conclusion based on facts. You know those videos and photos that Mitch Snow said that you are now the rightful owner of, to prove that Brian Harper was on a military base attending a meeting specifically and intentionally set up to cover up an assassination of a civilian. Yeah, you're going to have to produce that in court, you dumbass. So tell Miss Snow, y'all might want to get the digging. Reach out to the Transformers. I'm sure the Decepticons can help create some images for you. Whether someone should be fired for accepting a cursory assurance by the security vulnerability is a value judgment, he should not be fired. She does not have the right to even insinuate that, because she provided no facts to support her dumbass nonsense about how there was a lapse in security. Once again, she's not an expert at none of this. Candace, Brandon Tatum told on you about that. He said you don't know anything about security details. You don't know how security works. Brandon Tatum said that. Not I. Brandon Tatum did. There's one thing he said that was actually correct. Good God. No fact finder could determine as objective fact whether plaintiffs should be fired. So how is it based on facts? How is her conclusion based on facts? No fact finder could determine as objective fact whether plaintiffs should be fired. So you say it is a conclusion based on facts. Facts of what? Hey, it's the facts of life. The facts to life. Her attorneys are sitting here, boy, they contradicting themselves from one statement to another. Either there is no fact finder that can determine as objective fact whether a plaintiff should be fired, or her opinion that you should all be fired is somehow based on facts. It is a conclusion based on facts laid out. What facts were laid out? Pick one. It can't be both. Y'all see the contradiction? Pick one, Your Honor. Our attorneys are idiots. They don't have to write. What we doing? This is why I wanted to go over this. Candace, your attorneys can't even make up their damn mind whether or not you're giving an opinion or a set of facts. Of course, there's no fact finder to determine whether or not he should be fired, because Candace was lying. Her attorneys are stupid as hell. And, because they start off a whole sentence with the word "and." Because Owens disclosed the underlying facts of what? Where are those facts? Because, when Andrew Wilson asked her to produce them, she couldn't produce any of that evidence. Facts, evidence, Candace is the same thing. Those terms are used interchangeably. Where are your facts to support your dumbass opinion? Her comments upon true and non-defamatory published facts are not actionable, even though the comments are stated in strong or abusive terms. What you mean? So you saying that he aided in the cover-up of an assassination, which is a crime punishable by many, many years in prison, that could result in the loss of freedom. Somehow, based on a set of facts, even though you can't provide those facts or evidence to support it, somehow it's still left to be your opinion. It should not be. No fact finder could determine whether or not all that BS that came out of your mouth is objective facts. We know that. That's the problem. It's not objective facts. None of this stuff she's saying is objective facts. None of it. Yet somehow we still not getting this evidence cited. Where the facts at, Candace? Where's the evidence? You saying it is not evidence. It goes back to your opinion that we don't care about. The factual predicate underlying Owens' opinion is also true, which is an independent defense. Truth is an absolute defense to libel. She didn't tell the truth. She lied like hell. She said he was on a military base. What the hell are they doing? I make this up. The complaint does not assert the plaintiff follow up with the police chief after the gotcha covered exchange, Exhibit 4. Oh, yeah, there's another 40 pages of BS they want the judge to read. Further, because the facts on which Owens commented are not alleged to be false, and because the sting of the statement is the uncontested fact that plaintiff failed to follow up on a known security vulnerability that enabled Kirk's assassination. It didn't enable it. That's the problem. They're trying to say you failed to do XYZ, so that enabled his assassination. No, it didn't. Even if you remove what you claim to be as failures out of the equation, the bottom line is, the fact is, Tyler Robinson went to the roof, got the vantage point from over 150 feet away, and shot Charlie Kirk. That's beyond what he could even control, even in the details or the planning of said security on September 10th. It's so far-fetched, it's stupid. The sitting duck remark and the assassinations happen question are protected hyperbole. It's not hyperbole. Candace is an idiot and she does not know what this word is defined to be. Because let's not forget now, Candace thinks that hyperbole about Charlie Kirk's Superman neck is a provable false statement. Somehow, hyperboles go over her head when someone says that Charlie Kirk had a Superman neck. He had the neck man of steel up in there. She doesn't register that as hyperbole. So she only wants to say it's hyperbole when it's convenient for her. Because Candace is a moron. You can't pick and choose hyperbole, Candace, when you don't understand a hyperbolic statement regarding a Superman neck. Boy, this is something else. So her attorneys are going to prove one thing she can't do is define the word hyperbole. Your Honor, the defendant doesn't understand hyperbole because there are several videos where she is getting angry over someone saying Charlie Kirk had a Superman neck. Somehow she doesn't understand that to be hyperbole. But she wants to say that it is all Brian Harper's fault that Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Tyler Robinson, who had the vantage point from 150 feet away. Somehow all of that shit is hyperbole for her. F out of here. What you mean? Candace lying like hell. Girl, I want you to be deposed. Put her ass under. Oh, I dare you, Candace. I dare you. Let's say, oh, none of this is loose figurative language. Also cannot be construed as a representation of fact. She said that it was a fact. That's the problem. When she says that it is a fact, she is then saying everything I'm about to say after it is a fact is to be assumed to be a fact. The hell you mean? That's how stupid Candace is. She literally said those words. And it is a fact, blah, 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 blah. Hit the floor. Candace has said this several times about many things. She is so quick to say, it's just a known fact. Everybody knows it is a fact. Oh, okay. So you use that type of language and terminology. But then you want your attorneys to go to court as if you're not saying it is a fact in your show. And you want them to pull the episodes where they hope it's not in that transcript. Yeah, okay. Good luck to that dumb shit. Oh my God. So they keep making the defense. All of this is hyperbole. Don't take any of it seriously. She knows nothing about medical bags. She kept lying and doubling down. Never mind the fact that she was harassing this man for an interview. I want to make sure I get to, let's see. They're saying that his relief is unconstitutional. asked this court to issue a permanent injunction requiring the removal of the defamatory statements. How is that unconstitutional? She lied like hell. Candace, you gotta take that BS down. You done made your money from it. What you mad about? You gonna be big mad about that? Girl, bye. You done already made the money from it. YouTube has already paid her. And no one cares about her Hidden Valley Ranch sponsorships. Girl, bye. Plaintiff's retraction demand is unconstitutional. He's saying take that BS down. Then plaintiff's prior restraint demand is unconstitutional. Restraint from lying on me. As a matter of fact, stop saying my name. Take your ass to court. Keep my name out your mouth. What's so hard about that? You can't make this up. They don't want her to continue to defame and commit libel. Hey, it's reasonable to me. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the Owens defendants respectfully request this court grant this motion to dismiss under the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-6 and dismiss counts 1 through 6 of the complaint with prejudice, meaning he can't file it again. Grant this Tennessee Public Participation Act petition to dismiss counts 1 through 6 of the complaint with prejudice under Tennessee Code annotated section 20-17-105. Award the Owens defendants court costs, reasonable attorney's fees, discretionary costs, and other expenses under section 20-17-107. More than likely, they're saying, "Oh, this is a petition filed in bad faith." So, because this is filed in bad faith, give us more money. Strike plaintiff's false light claim, count 3, as redundant, even though they're claiming he didn't make a claim at all. Strike impertinent and immaterial allegations concerning the First Lady of France, the Iran War, and the Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. These are things that Candace said out of her mouth. So tell her to kick rocks and dismiss plaintiff's demands for unconstitutional injunctive relief. Kick down the bullshit where you lied. It's that simple. All right, cool. That's all of that. Oh, good God. Candace, you're a moron. So her attorneys were very, very repetitive and hypocritical. You're saying that her opinions are facts, but then somehow her facts cannot be fact-checked because they're her opinions. Yeah, okay. Oh, child. This idiot right here. Dismissed for failure to state a claim and dismiss lack of jurisdiction. Oh, Lord have mercy. Defendant Mitchell H. Snow's motion to dismiss under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12b-2 and 12b-6. Y'all, his is 5 pages. Lord have mercy. Defendant Snow appearing pro se, of course. I thought he had $150,000. Wait a minute, I thought he had a bunch of money. I thought he had $150,000. He could go hire an attorney. Oh my God. Oh, y'all, this is priceless. Oh, y'all hear this? Support court order him to pay. Narc abuse is so awful. Feel for it all. Oh. Can I stand up with crows? But sure rooting for them now. Oh yeah, we're all. Mitch said he wrote this himself, wondering if he used AI. Probably. That case law better be real, Mitch Snow. Or else that judge is gonna tear your ass up. Because see, this is what happens when you use AI. It might give you fake case law that does not exist. Candace, you're an idiot. He wants all the claims dismissed asserted against him under Federal Civil Procedure 12b-2 for lack of personal jurisdiction. In the alternative, Snow moves under Rule 12b-6 to dismiss count 4 defamation, count 5 civil conspiracy, and any other claim expressly asserted against him for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. Complaint alleges Snow is a Washington resident, communicated by telephone with Candace Owens on or about December 8th. He did. And on one podcast episode, December 18th, allegations do not plausibly establish that Snow purposefully directed suit-related conduct toward Tennessee or deliberately created a substantial connection with Tennessee. Personal jurisdiction must be established over each defendant independently, and the form connection must arise from contacts created by that defendant. And he cited some case law here. We don't even know if this is real. I'm not going to look it up. I'm just not. Yeah, this is the problem with AI. A whole attorney was admonished by appellate court judge for using AI to draft her pleadings. And it ended up giving false case law. Fake cases like this that weren't even real. So he's not an attorney. He would not know if this shit is real. Remember now, Mitch Snow was dodging service from U.S. Marshals and then recording them outside his house, posting that on the internet because he's a moron. Actively showing like he's intentionally dodging service. Stupid. So I won't put it past him to use AI, end up stating fake cases that don't exist. Complaint also fails to plead defendant-specific facts plausibly, showing that Snow personally made or adopted the broader defamatory accusation alleged by plaintiff, acted with the required fault, caused plaintiff's claim campaign-wide damages, or entered an agreement to defame plaintiff. So what he did was he saw Candace's partial motion to dismiss, and then he used that because it's repetitive. It literally is repetitive. Case law is being repeated here. That is mentioned in Candace's partial motion to dismiss. Boy, they sit here with all that energy. Sue me, I want subpoena power. They can sue me. I stand on everything I say. Oh, okay, you're being sued. No, dismiss it. This court has no personal jurisdiction. I can't believe he's trying to sue me. He didn't even come and give me an interview. Candace, you acting like a whole bitch right now. Boy, that hit dog is hollering loud. Ain't it? The complaint repeatedly quotes and relies on December 18, 2025 episode 282 publication as a central basis. He is literally repeating what she put in her defendant motion to dismiss. Make this up. Dude, you didn't even... Oh, the format of this is so garbage. Episode 282 materially narrows the meaning attributed to Snow in the complaint. Snow expressly acknowledged the possibility of mistaken identity. Doesn't matter. You say you were 95 to 99% sure. And that somehow Erica Kirk's eyes are unforgettable. Because he was staring in them. I told y'all most of these simps want to be with an Erica Kirk. They want that girl. You can't make this up, man. Qualifications part of the publication plaintiff invokes must be considered when determining the meaning reasonably conveyed by Snow's own words. Yeah, he's like, I could be mistaken, but I'm 95 to 99% sure. Get the F out of here. For purposes of Rule 12b-6, he just repeats whatever Candace said. This is a copy and paste. Snow accepts properly pleaded factual allegations solely as required to test their legal sufficiency. Snow does not concede that plaintiff was absent from Fort Huachuca on September 9, does not concede Snow's identification was false, and expressly preserves all defenses concerning truth, substantial truth, fault, causation, context, and circumstances of his observation. Even though he said there is videos and photos that Candace is now the owner of. Candace, he threw your dumb ass under the bus. Then said, I'm not backing down from what I said, even though I have evidence. I have not shown anyone. I don't own it, though. I gave it to Candace. But they both stuck on stupid. Oh, Candace, he gonna get you effed up in court. I'm here for it. Let him throw her under the bus, because that's exactly what he's doing. Neither branch of this motion requires the court to determine who was physically present at Fort Huachuca. What you mean? He said he saw someone attending a meeting intentionally designed for the purposes of covering up an assassination, which is a crime. So you claim you saw someone going to a meeting that is criminal in nature, that warrants jail time if he were to be charged and convicted of such. And you're saying you're going to stand by that, although the evidence lies with Candace Owens. God. Candace, you see how this is going to go for you? You dumbass. Oh, then he's got a declaration. So you making these statements under the penalty of perjury. I'm so glad you said that. Y'all. Oh, this is something else. He said, I'm not backing down from none of these lies that I told. I got evidence. I just gave it to her. This is epic. Boy, this court hearing is gonna be something else. Oh, y'all got to go to court. Yet still, he wants everything dismissed because blah blah blah, and he stands by it all. He might have been mistaken when he saw Brian Harper, but then he was 95 to 99% sure. He's got evidence. And he gave it to Candace. Then, thank you, court. I wanted to summarize this. Oh, he's so stupid. Y'all, I want everything dismissed, and I stand by everything I said in that one episode. Hell yeah, he was there. I was 95 to 99% sure, but I could be mistaken. Oh, okay, so Mitch does not know how numbers work. You understand saying 95 to 99% sure decreases the error rate, you moron. And he's getting mad all over X, threatening to dox people and beat people up and shit. But yet, he doesn't know how numbers work. So if you're going to be 95 to 99% sure, that means you're only 1 to 5% doubtful. You dumb ass idiot. He's unfixed. I'm 99 to 95% sure, Your Honor. I saw him on the base, but I could be mistaken by 1 to 5%. And I stand by that. And yes, I have evidence, but she owns it now. So you're going to have to ask Candace to show you the videos and the photos. I gave everything to her like a good little boy. I gave it to mommy. Mommy has it all. Hey, mama, mommy, mama. Candace. This is not going to be in court calling her mama. Mama, you want to show the video? Ask mom if she's going to show the video. Mom is Candace Owens, my co-defendant. Mom, you going to show the video or what? I gave it all to you. You own it now. Oh, Candace. Oh, I'm going to clown you about this for days, you dumb heifer. Mom, come on, break out the photos. You know the ones I gave you that you now own? Yeah, can you post them up? Oh, God. Oh, this is priceless. Oh, my God. They're like two stooges trying to say words. All right, Curly and Larry. Oh, this is epic. Candace, that court hearing is going to be a shit show. And then he's sitting over in the proposed order. Yeah, okay. Then he filed a separate memorandum in support of his motion to dismiss with an exhibit being Candace's episode. I'm telling you all, he waited till she filed her stuff and he just used it. Oh, my dear Lord. It's 3 pages. Your memorandum is 3 pages? Dude. Exhibit A, selected episode 282, timestamps excerpts. The purpose of this is for him to point out the parts where he said he does not concede. Why do this if you're not conceding? Possible lookalikes. So that 1 to 5% doubt, yeah, no, that's what he's trying to point out here in these references. Does that make sense? He said, I don't concede to anything I've said, but the 1 to 5% doubt that I had, because I told her I was 95 to 99% sure. So that 1 to 5% part where I'm doubting it. Yeah, no, here's all the times where I said it in this one video. What you doing this for? Selected references. Timestamp here. Snow expressly not acknowledges possible mistaken identity. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it is. Maybe it's Maybelline. What you talking about? Maybe it's butter. Oh, my God. Here's another timestamp. Owens discusses possible lookalike explanations. You know, because she was leading. So she was trying to throw him a bone, right? Even though he gave her all the evidence. You don't need to have 1 to 5% uncertainty or point out when you said you could be wrong if you have evidence. If you have videos and photos, wouldn't that prove and meet that burden of a preponderance that you saw this man on the military base? You're not going to concede, but you're saying you're 95% sure. You understand he only needs to be 51% convincing in a civil matter, the petitioner. So Brian Harpold only needs to meet a burden of a preponderance of the evidence. 51% convincing. Is it more likely than not? Meanwhile, Mitch Snow says, I'm 95 to 99% sure I saw his ass. So why are you doing this? This has to be the dumbest thing ever. Here's all the times where I said I wasn't sure, though. And then, of course, there's a Gibson go because, you know, she was hoping that it would help with legal costs. So you just told on yourself, you dumbass. You understand that setting up a Gibson go strictly for legal costs means that you anticipate a legal issue to arise, argued Brian Harpold's attorneys, because that's going to be part of their, here's the civil conspiracy. Does that make sense? So how do you pre-plan to set up a Gibson go for legal costs for a matter that has not even been filed with the court? Unless you were anticipating being sued into oblivion for lying like hell. To which you said you were 95 to 99% sure, and you will not concede. That means you will not say I was wrong. Okay. Well, hold on to all that big energy, you dumbass. Keep that energy up. Why sit here and try to point out all the times you said oopsies? Maybe I was mistaken. No. Maybe it's Maybelline. Miss Snow wears makeup. I'm just saying. I think it's that. Y'all know Miss Snow wear eyeliner. Yeah, he said, oh, it's a military court martial. Exactly. You were on a military base lying like hell. And it ended up being kicked off the military base. Candace faked an incident report. Just typed some nonsense up and took a picture of a computer screen monitor. Candace, you're so dumb. And yet, he claims he gave you videos and photos that is legitimate proof that Brian Harpold and Erica Kirk were actually physically there on that military base. Why is he trying to say, I may have been mistaken? Candace, you see how that does not work in your favor? I've been telling you, you dumbass. Mitch Snow threw you under the bus. Candace Owens. Rose Amber Owens Farmer. He did it with a smile on his face. Because he's saying, no, I'm not conceding to the dumb shit I said. I gave her the evidence, but I have proof. That's what he said. So he's saying after he is off the program, because he's an idiot, after y'all see this, look at this. Boy, this broken English is something else. After he is off the program, at the conclusion of the program, is that what you're going for? At the conclusion of the program. Oh my God. Owens repeats and expands the announcement, stating that she will create a Gibson Go and hopes it can assist with legal costs because she knew more than likely this is going to lead to a lawsuit. Hence, y'all conspired to do this dumb shit. This sequence places the first on-air fundraiser reference after Snow's substantive testimony. Your testimony is false, and you claim to have evidence to support it, to which you said you were 95 to 99% sure. The foregoing selections are intentionally limited. Why? They are offered only to identify portions of the publication directly bearing on the complaint's no specific allegations, contextual implication theory, He's just putting words together in statements. None of this makes sense. Not when you're sitting here talking about after he is off the program. Are you referring to yourself in the third person? Now, Mitch Snow is referring to himself in the third person. After he is off the program, at the conclusion of the program, Owens repeated, why did you even have to put a pronoun here? So he refers to himself in the third person. You represent yourself pro se. It's okay to say, once I was done with the show. This is something else. Watch out. Candace, everything you touch becomes an idiot. This is his declaration, y'all. His exhibit. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is something else. Candace, you still do it. Business entity disclosure. What is this? Why would he need to do this? He has a business? Does he have a business? Provide disclosures and in compliance with local rule 7.01B. This disclosure statement is filed by Mitch Snow. I'll acknowledge the continuing obligation to update and supplement the statement. He resides in why would you even do this? You don't have a business. What business do you have? Y'all, he crossed this out. Why would he need to do this? Why would you need to file a business? What the hell? You don't have an LLC or Inc. You don't have a business. Why do a disclosure statement in your non-existent business? What are you doing? I told y'all he just copied her documents. This is stupid. This is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You don't have a business. Extension of time to file response reply. This must have been done by, because they filed their responses. So this must be the petitioner has the opportunity to file a response or a reply to their dumbass motions to dismiss. Candace, I thought you wanted subpoena power. Mitch Snow already threw you underneath the bus, girl. You might as well just go to court. What you running for? Go to court. You can't make this stuff up. All right. Do we have the video? His eyes is ready. Y'all, this is something else. Fred Flintstone being a moron. Oh my God. Is that a video of the the guy that went over the debate? What's his name? He is stupid. He is stupid. First of all, you're filing frivolous pleadings that you don't need to file. Secondly, you're repeating what Candace put in hers. Third, you didn't go to law school, so of course you don't know case law. And more than likely, a couple of those cases might not even be real. And you can't argue, whether or not the court has personal jurisdiction over you. Not a legal argument you can make. Why are you filing things you don't need to file? If you don't have a business, why did you file an entity disclosure statement? Y'all see that? Business entity disclosure statement. You don't have a business. What are you doing? You're just repeating what she did. Good grief. If the judge knows that you're pro se, they don't expect you to know the law like that to be able to represent yourself in that manner. To where her attorneys can do that because they went to law school. But at the very least, if you don't know whether or not you should file something, you might want to just call and get a consultant. Can't make this stuff up. Child. I bless God for the opportunity to have 3 attorneys on the Lady Luck Club. Gil with the whole truth, Nicholas Brooks, and Dennis Spurley. And, of course, I just bless God for my godmother. Being a retired federal magistrate judge is definitely a bonus. But if I need to ask questions, whether or not I should file something to the court, I'm going to ask an attorney if that is reasonable. Otherwise, you're filing stuff for a judge to read that he doesn't even have to read. It's so dumb. So Candace is full of crap. So are her attorneys and Mitch Snow because he is. None of that means anything. It doesn't. You can't say she said her opinion, but it was also based on a set of facts. No, nope. Pick one. Y'all mean to tag me in a video. Oh, this moron.
And Eric.
Hold on. This is. Hold on. What is this? Well, we knew it was common. Charlie was a spy. Mitch Snow was on a podcast last night, and they actually discussed the possibility Trump took Kirk out because he was a bad guy, and Erica turned him in. And the whole group is back to Egyptian plains, and then now the president of Egypt is in on it. Insanity. What? So Spanish while this, I rebuke these demons back to hell. This is ridiculous. Candace, you see what you've done? Candace, this is all your fault, you dumb demon. All because she didn't know what thunder was. Now we got to deal with this.
Some of these other flights.
Why? Well, how are you talking about Egyptian planes? Are there these clowns pilots? Who is this moron? This is the clown that said, I'm not going to concede to any of these statements that I lied about. Because I'm 95 to 99% certain. I got the evidence, but I gave it to Candace. So she got it. So y'all got to go to her. Y'all hit the floor if you can see it in here. Let's get to it.
Was Charlie Kirk an agent working for Syria? Was Charlie Kirk an agent working for Turkey?
Can y'all hear this?
Did his team and Erica say, Mr. President, I'm going to talk to you privately. Why does my husband speak Syrian? I don't know. I have no idea.
Is it for real?
If the president, right? If the president knew.
Is it? Hold on. What is it?
Was Charlie Kirk an agent working for Syria? Was Charlie Kirk an agent?
Is he asking questions? Is he reading something? Why is he talking like that?
Agent working for Turkey? Did his team and Erica say, Mr. President, I'm going to talk to you privately. Why does my husband speak Syrian?
Why do I speak Spanish a little bit? Who all has the ability to speak multiple languages in the chat? Hit the 4. If you speak multiple languages, or at least one other language other than English, hit the 4. You know, because obviously being multilingual is a bad thing. That's a no. You're not learning more languages. No. Don't be intelligent and learn other languages. You can't make this stuff up. What's this dumbass? Somehow learning to speak another language is a no. He also said Shabbat Shalom. Where we going with this? Look at all these people in this chat that can speak another language. Look at that. We got some smart people up in the LLC. Boy, I'm so proud of you all. Man, Jim, can you sue the internet? I wish. You can sue Google and YouTube. They're companies. They can be sued. Oh, my God. Juju, Francisca, look at God. Look at all these people. Susan, Saint, Phyllis. Look at all these people that can speak other languages. And a couple other bots that can speak multiple languages. What the bar is at? He can speak another language. These clowns. Hell no, it's horrible to speak another language. How dare you speak anything other than English? When his ass is reading like he's a simpleton. What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I have no idea.
These are dumb questions.
But if the president, right, if the president knew this was happening, right, and you've got a whole bunch of Sam type people at Fort Huachuca in some sort of meeting.
He said, what? You got a whole bunch of what? Sand? Sand or sand?
Sam type people at Fort.
Sam type people. What's Sam? It sounds like he's saying sand, like the color of their skin being sand. That's what I heard saying. I heard sand, S-A-N-D.
Bunch of Sam type people at Fort Huachuca in some sort of meeting the day before. And Andy's going to talk to us a little bit about some of these other flights, and his paper talks about, guys, this is not coincidental.
Okay, Jam, thank you.
This is, this is batting practice.
He's drunk. That's what this is. Is it possible that he had like 18 beers before he did this dumbass live stream? Speaking with a man being sued because he hasn't learned his lesson. I mean, maybe Egghead up here can explain to us why you slurred and slurred. Yeah, man, Candace, this guy is worse than you with the slurred speech. Is he sniffing Adderall as well? Candace, is your Adderall junkie, buddy? Is your drug lord? He's drunk as hell. That's it. That's all I hear. Slurred speech. And something about saying people.
Before the game. And so if that's the case, is there information, is there intelligence that indicates potentially that Charlie Kirk is not who we thought he was? And that information made its way to the president, made its way to HEXF.
HEXF.
And like, holy S. This guy made his way into the Oval? And his real name is,
That Egghead is drunk. Okay. Oh man, this is why you don't drink in podcasts. He's drunk as hell. How do you have this rounded up head like this? Y'all imagine his mother giving birth to him. He's got to pass through. Oh, this egghead coming out. Big old head, itty bitty body. He must have destroyed her pelvis. I can't take this clown seriously. I just refuse. He's drunk and bald. What are you talking about?
Was Charlie Kirk an agent working for Syria?
Look how he's talking.
Was Charlie Kirk an agent working for Turkey? Did his team and Erica say, Mr. President, I got to talk to you privately?
Mr. President. It is Zanzibar. What do you mean? The hell? Candace, you picked the most retarded of people to go on your dumb show to still say you got all the evidence. And now he's talking with Egghead and them, Larry, Curly, and Baldy out here just saying words. Yeah, they had to have they came straight from the bar. They look like they smell like nachos, cheese puffs, and beer. The cheapest kind. And they just went ham in because, it was happy hour and they were like 50 cents a cup. And now he has no idea of left versus right, up versus down, to grow hair or not. I mean, he's confused all around. You can't make this stuff up. He's an idiot. I'm clowning the hell out of him. You can't take this fool serious. He's no one to take seriously at all. Not even a little bit. What the hell are you talking about? Egghead. Look at Egghead. Oh, child. Y'all, we need an animated version of this, except him being Mr. Peanut. He's Mr. Peanut. He's the Raisinette. And he's an Autobot cockroach. The Three Stooges is coming through. None of them got hair, so it's hard to really give them names. Oh boy. Here's a side swipe. He has none. His is a toupee. Mitch Snow is wearing a toupee. Period. Hands down. Guaranteed. Candace, he threw you under the bus. You dumbass. right, let's go on from the Three Stooges. Oh, child. Y'all tag me in some stuff. Oh, God. Candace, you lost. So Bronx did a live reaction
at the beginning of that. This is how it works.
And Israel.
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear. When I toggle between screens and stuff, the sound goes off. Good night, men. Oh, y'all kids got to get up and go to school tomorrow. Oh, the Cantifa men are soy. Yeah, they simps, Grim. All these dudes that can't just get around and turn into simps. Automatic simps. Some punk asses. They should know it's a simp. And you got $150,000 of cash out from Give, Send, Go. Can't make this up. Yeah, speaking of such, you guys can please continue to share fundraiser. I do need assistance with the rent. That's the biggest thing right now. So if you can share it, please do. Continue to share it. Say a prayer. Y'all tagged Andrew COVID, asked him if TPUSA is hiring. The candy ass cult members keep playing around talking about you taking money from TPUSA. No, but I can. As a matter of fact, I'll work. They can pay me wages. What you talking about? Don't tempt me. Because all I'm going to do is make a fool of you. Candy ass cult members, y'all already looking to sound as stupid as hell. Your cult leader presented zero evidence. Coming up, be talking about TPUSA paying me. They can if they want to. The hell you mean? Kick rocks. These are the same clowns that won't leave me a super check. They can pay me. And I take it that the candy ass cult members are gonna pay my rent though. No? Okay, well shut your ass up. That's how that goes. Same ones running their mouth. They won't leave you a super chat. But they run their mouth. Oh, you get TPUSA to pay you. They can pay me. And as a matter of fact, let me help you out. So I tagged in Andrew COVID and they said, hey man, y'all hiring over at TPUSA? I will do an application. Just like I sent Benjamin Netanyahu an invoice. Keep on. That stuff don't work over here. Wow. I will make you a living fool and do it in your face. Candace, how did you spend that $300,000? Did you put a down payment to your attorneys? Did it go to their retainer or no? Meanwhile, she can't prove to them why she's asking for them to buy her merch so that she can pay for attorneys. And she's a multi-millionaire living in a mansion. Meanwhile, her cult members are working check to check, giving up their rent money. What you talking about? And I'm not going to ask Andrew COVID if TPUSA is hired. I did. Kick rocks. Same cult members, they won't help get me a job or anything. Will send any support in my fundraiser to help with bills. So why do I care what they think? It's so ridiculous. Don't tip me. If I have to send Trump an invoice, who do I send an invoice to get my $7,000 check? Oh, like here, this came from Candace. You might want to bill her. Trump will probably give me the money and he'll tell Candace, you're going to pay me back. Candace, you owe me $10,000. Well, your cult members going to tell me to give me my money. Child boo. She got Rob Noor as security. Who is that? Rob Noor. She has 24-hour security. According to Rob Noor, she has 24-hour security. Child. Don't nobody want Candace. Candace, we want you in court. That's it. Boy, it would be awesome to be able to go up there to the hearing in Tennessee. It really would. I would actually go there. It's like 5 hours from where I am. I would drive up there and report in real time. I would have to have my bread stacked up. Hence, why the candy ass cult members should give me their rent money. Standing down there in somebody's basement talking about, oh, I'm gonna debate you. Girl, bye, Felicia. Y'all, let's get to this. Shout out to Bronson for doing this clip.
That's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear.
You don't know how courts work. The devil is a liar. All you try to do is file motions to dismiss to avoid court. And that's for civil matters. Your ass wants to get out of a civil proceeding. 2 of them. And you're trying to explain how court works with criminal matters? Girl, if you don't kick rocks. She could barely read. Candace would never be able to go over court documents like I just did. She doesn't have the understanding of these legal processes to be able to break it down for the average person to be able to understand on a fundamental level. Candace, your attorneys are saying that your opinions are facts when that's not true at all. And Mitch Snow gave you all the evidence because he's an idiot and so are you.
There's 100 other plausible explanations in Candace.
Why
Why
do you
is it
land
that
on
we
the
should go
Patsy
with this
one?
idea that it was a Patsy?
Yes.
I'm not saying that we should go with
Cooked.
the idea
Cooked.
that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is
Oh,
Just-
I thought that was the whole defense. Your
Wow.
whole claim
no.
today.
My whole
That's
claim is
our
that
whole
there
claim.
is
Suck
more
at this.
evidence that that's how it works.
And is there equally 100?
She said flat out, all of this is because he was a patsy repeatedly over and over again. We saw the milk bar video. Oh, Queen dipshit. Candace, you're just a dipshit. I refuse to give you the title of queen. You are the head leader of the dipshits. Your whole MO has been that he's a patsy and he didn't do it and he wasn't there. Why you going out your way to defend Tyler Robinson like this? Something else. Candace, how much money you gave him? Y'all, this right here. So Raven Grace and I think Artie Trolls pulled up this interview. Hold on.
But the stuff that we have gone through over the last
Okay. Candace deleted this interview. Why? And Artie Trolls pointed this out previously, a couple months back. I know, Saint, you can't make this shit up. Artie Trolls pointed this out a couple months back. What was the purpose of deleting this interview, Candace? It's because your horns were showing. Y'all, Cruella had her horns come through her skull. We all missed it. Now that we all know you have a demon, yeah, it's very possible to understand why Charlie Kirk was like, Garrett, you don't get far away from me. Be gone, you evil doer. There's a demon in you, and you have that yeast infection that stinks.
But the stuff that we have gone through over the last year, I mean, there have been moments where I was just crying in bed and shouting at Charlie on the phone. Like, I mean, we've gotten into fights and
About what? Candace, you see why he ignored your ass? Did you claim to have a boyfriend? Candace, you look more full here before marriage than you did after George. George, how did you get the black eye?
and things get really heated and vicious because we're fighting a war together. But the thing is our names are tagged to it.
Yes.
So everything that comes out is Charlie Kirk. It's Candace Owens. It's Candace Owens. It's Charlie.
What is he talking about? Candace, what the hell are you talking about? He's rambling.
I was just crying in bed and shouting at Charlie on the phone. Like, I mean, we've gotten into.
Yeah, she was saying, why won't you be with me? Why won't you love me? I love you. Why you won't love me? I'm going to do good voodoo on you. And then that voodoo didn't work because God said, nope. No, you're not going to be his wife. Kick rocks. Candace, you were mad and angry because he wouldn't date you. Because who takes time out of an interview? You have an opportunity to sit down and talk with him. And this is what the hell you want to talk about? Why do you think we cared about you shouting at him about why he won't be with you? He's like, I don't like that smell. It's just the smell. It's something else, Candace. You need help. You need to get monostat 7. Super strength hospital grade monostat 7. You need a prescription, girl. We're past the point of you buying this shit over the counter. You need a whole prescription from a doctor. Not even a knockoff version. No, you need the actual name brand. You've had this recurrent systemic yeast infection for how many years? What you mean? You're yelling at him because he didn't want your dumb ass.
Into fights, and things get really heated and vicious because we're fighting a war together. But the thing is our names are tagged to it. So everything that comes out is Charlie Kirk, it's Candace Owens, it's Candace Owens, it's Charlie Kirk. And there's so much hurt and emotion and pain that goes on behind the scenes.
Well, hurt, emotion, and pain. Because he don't want you? Candace, you telling on yourself. Didn't I tell y'all she was in love with him? Yeah. To all the people who said, I don't think it was that. Do you believe me now? Candace sells on herself every time she opens her mouth. You put your foot in your mouth. That's nasty. What hurt and pain? Of what? A nonprofit organization he started as a young man. No one told you to go work for him. And they did not have to buy Blexit from you. What hurt and pain? You yelling and screaming, y'all having fights over the phone? That's embarrassing as hell, Candace. And you're stupid.
Into fights, and things get really heated and vicious because we're fighting a war together. But the thing is our names are tagged to it. So
what war? To all conservatives, Candace was never conservative. She was a dumbass and a leech. But she was never conservative. What war are you fighting, Candace? Was it because you hear demons squealing in your head and he didn't? No, come on, Charlie. You have to astral project with me. Let's thank the trees, the gods of the oceans. No. You and Poseidon can go and do your thing alone. Leave me out of that. What could you possibly be screaming and yelling and fighting over the phone about? What war are you two fighting together where you're excluding everybody else on earth? So this is more projection of Candace being in love with this man. He didn't want her ass. And she was big mad because he was dating Erica Kirk and married her. Bottom line. And you can imagine her screaming and yelling at him. Well, I traveled with you for a year and a half. We slept in hotel rooms together. I love you so much. I care about you more than just a kid brother. And you don't care. You don't care about me because it's all about me. That's all these arguments were about. And he's probably like on the phone like, man, this is ridiculous. Candace, I'm not going to keep saying this again. I don't like you like that. Like, I'm not attracted to you. All right? I thought you had a boyfriend. What are you doing? What's going on with you and your guy? She probably was trying to break his virginity. Candace was trying to take Charlie Kirk's virginity.
Everything that comes out is Charlie Kirk. It's Candace Owens. It's Candace Owens. It's Charlie Kirk. And there's so much hurt and emotion and pain that goes on behind the scenes. And I want to really stress that.
What was that hurt and pain behind the scenes? Candace, this is so stupid. No, it's you disappointing yourself because he didn't want to be with you. Now y'all believe me when I say this. This girl was in love with him. Who says stuff like this? If you just listen, how many of y'all got coworkers where you sitting here calling them and yelling and screaming over the phone? Okay, because Candace, you were just the intern. You were just the intern. How many of y'all got coworkers where you calling and you yelling and screaming at them over the phone, talking about we're in this war together? There's a lot of hurt and pain. Can't you tell? I love you. I mean, you call some random employee or co-worker of yours, and you say all that nonsense, and y'all not together, y'all not in love, y'all ain't dating, none of that. They will hang up in your face. They will hang up on you. They be like, oh, hell no. Who is this? Laid it up. Wait a minute. Where do I know you from? We work together? Oh, so aren't you the executive assistant? What you calling me talking about hurt and pain behind the scenes? Y'all make it make sense. I want y'all to think about that realistically being said amongst two colleagues. If you hear one colleague say this to another colleague, wouldn't the assumption be they must be dating? They screwing around. She must be in love with this boy. because otherwise, normal people don't say stuff like this out loud. You just don't. Real women don't say this shit. Even if we like or, are heavily attracted to somebody. Last thing I'm going to do is sit here and make an ass of myself on my podcast. Talking about hurt and pain behind the scenes and how I was yelling and screaming at him on the phone. Talking about we in this fight together. We're in this war together. It's just me and you and me. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. That's how I'm saying it's me and me against the world. And we're fighting this war together, just you and I. And no one else. What you mean? I would never say this shit out loud. Candace, you're an idiot. No wonder she deleted it. She told on herself. You were in love with him. And he rejected your ass and told you to kick rocks. And now you big mad. She's absolutely jealous of Erica Kirk.
Point, because I know that there are a lot of kids now that go through depression and angst, and they look at people's lives on social media and they think, wow, I wish I had that life. But
yes,
what we do is it's hard.
It's very hard.
But the stuff that we have gone through over the last year, I mean, there have been moments where I was just crying in bed and shouting at Charlie on the phone.
Yeah, because she wanted him. So he's sitting here. Look at this look on his face, y'all. This boy's sitting here confused. He's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Shouting at me over what? What were we fighting about? It would have been epic if you actually would have asked that. I'm sorry. What were we shouting about again? What were you shouting at me over? What pain behind the scenes? I somehow missed the memo on all this. Candace, you were just the intern. What pain behind the scenes were you suffering? Where did this come from? Yeah, he was so scared. He's scared and confused all at the same time. What the hell is she saying? He's like, I'm not even gonna say anything to follow up on this nonsense. I'm just let her get it out and be done with it. His boy look confused and scared. You can't make this up. Candace, you scared him into oblivion. He was not digging this at all. He was not feeling none of this. He was like, wait, what are you talking about? Scared, confused, and what? No, he wasn't feeling none of that. Candace, you set yourself up. Falling in love with him, I guess thinking he's just going to fall in love with you back. And somehow that didn't happen that way. And now you big mad and you taking it out on Erica Kirk. Because you wouldn't be saying any of that bullshit if he were still alive. All this nonsense you're doing on his own wife. You would not say that stuff if he were alive, Candace. You know why? Because you hadn't. You didn't have any of that energy or smoke for Erica Kirk while Charlie Kirk was still alive. Now, all of a sudden, you're trying to lie on her saying that she lied and you can't say what she lied about. Just like you couldn't provide any evidence on anything. And for what? Because you set yourself up for that failure and disappointment by falling in love with Charlie Kirk and realizing after a year and a half, he's not stunning your dumb ass. Candace, I feel nothing saying that to you. You had this coming. You couldn't leave this widow alone and her 2 kids. No one cares if you're jealous of her. You don't give a damn about that. Charlie Kirk didn't pick you. That's all that matters. Why don't you be happy with your fake and gay husband? You supposed to be a pregnant? You still at 7 months? Girl, bye. Oh, let's see. Okay, one of you all said something about Nick Brooks' chat. What was that at? Yeah, no wonder he fired her. Y'all see how crazy? He's sitting there looking like, what? Whoa, wait, where did this come from? Yeah, that boy looks scared. He looks so scared. I'm telling y'all, he looked like, that's not, what is she talking about? And I think she bullied him. I think Candace bullied Charlie Kirk. I think she bullied him. When you have a history, Candace, of being arrested for harassment, I think she bullied him and harassed him went through that man's phone, and now trying to say, oh, I was his wingman. I helped him date women. And, to the point where I felt like a lesbian because blah, blah, blah. No, you're just faking gay. Charlie Kirk didn't need your help. You talking about hurt and pain behind the scenes, Candace. You probably started stalking and being obsessed with him then. And he wants to stun you. He wants you to get far away from him. I'm telling y'all, Charlie Kirk knew things that he never disclosed. He knew information he never disclosed. And he knew Candace is a demon. Her vengeance and retaliation knows no ends. None. And it's unfortunate now that he's not here to defend himself or still protect and defend his wife and kids. Or his company. Candace is tearing it down because she thinks that she helped build it and she didn't. She was just the intern. And he wasn't stunned her. He was not in love with her. He didn't want to be with her. She felt rejected and denied. That is something narcissists don't like. They don't like rejection. And now look where we are. She won't leave Erica Kirk alone. And she wants that girl to respond to her. Hell no. And if she responds, let it be through a lawsuit. Y'all wanted to check this out. Y'all got time, y'all hanging out. Hit the phone. Hit the like button. Y'all enjoying yourselves? This is Joshua Carr. Y'all know he's been doing debates with candy ass cult members because they stuck on stupid. And he's like, yeah, I found some good ones here. Oh man. So he debated last week, and I wanted to check this out. Okay. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but I did want to see some of it. And I'm just here for it. I'm here for it. We'll speed this up a little bit. But y'all know Joshua Carr, he's so sweet. He looks so dapper. He's not gonna sit here and just go back and forth like that. So if they got irate, it's because they were just irate. The Candy Cult members are so angry. Y'all be coming at me in the chat. How dare you, Lady Luck? You're an idiot. You're a blah, blah, blah. They sit here and call people's names, and then when you call them a name back, then they, oh no, you called me a name. If you don't kick rocks and take your punk ass somewhere, go sit down and have several seats. Hell yeah. Clowns. All right, y'all hit the floor when you can see it here. Let's get to it.
We'll start with this. My claim, and any debate requires claims, my claim is simply that Tyler Robinson is the most likely person, based on the evidence I've seen, that assassinated Charlie Kirk. What do you believe about this? What is your claim that you would say?
Well, first off, you got a big heart to think that. I mean, most people that believe that narrative, I believe, are kind-hearted people to really believe that, that nobody else can be involved. Nobody close to him can be involved. None of his friends, his spouse. I mean, for me, that's, it's hard to believe, like you got, more than 40% of people of murders are committed by people they know. It's not some guy like waking up in the morning and deciding to climb a roof and say, I'm going to take a shot at Charlie Kirk today, and I mean, to start with.
Yeah, despite the physical evidence that points to just that. See, this is why I can't do these debates. You got to come with facts and evidence. I don't operate outside of what would be expected in a court of law. When you're talking about a debate, loss of life of a man that was assassinated on national television in front of 3,000 people, you're not going to tell those 3,000 people they did not see what they saw with their own eyes and hear what they heard with their own ears. The overall response of the majority of the people turning around looking back because that's where they heard the shot come from. You're not going to tell them that did not happen. Not even a little bit. So, you need evidence to place that person at the scene of the crime. Or evidence to somehow be able to allege someone was involved with a whole crime. Even in a cover-up. Conspiracy, however you want to term it. That's still a crime. So you're either being defamatory or you're dumb and you can't read. Which one is it?
That's where, I'm kind of, I'm iffy.
Fair enough. So let me address that directly. So first off, this murder is a little bit different than most because Charlie Kirk is a public figure and he's a divisive public figure. I mean, I don't personally find him divisive. I don't think what he did was very divisive, but people felt that way. So that's going to be very different than your classic murder case in which a boyfriend got really angry at his girlfriend, he was on drugs, and then he did something horrible. That's fundamentally different. But let's take your assumption for a second and say that the 40% does apply to this case anyway. The thing that I'm saying is not that it's impossible that Erica Kirk could have done this or that no one can even question Erica Kirk. I've actually never said that. You can do that. I've never said Andrew Colvett couldn't have done this or Tyler Boyer or all the other people that people claim could have done it. All I'm asking for is proof of that. And I think I've been presented enough proof to know with at least 95% certainty that Tyler Robinson has done this. And I've not been presented with a single piece of evidence, frankly, that anyone close to Charlie did it. So my question to you, Dom, is do you have any actual substantial evidence that someone close to him did this like you claim?
Well, Josh, I think what you're asking for is virtually impossible. First of all, reasonable cause, reasonable doubt.
What do you mean? Why is it virtually impossible to produce evidence to support your claim? That's how investigations work. You didn't know that? Candace's job was to gather evidence to support her bullshit. And she can't even say who did it. And has no evidence to support whatever other person she names. So far, we're going to say George Farmer. Because it looks like George Farmer, we don't have his alibi. It's reasonable to assume that he will fit the physical description of Tyler Robinson. He could have easily purchased a whole vehicle and put Tyler Robinson as his name. Have a whole identity set up with Tyler James Robinson. Very possible for George Farmer to have a whole identity established as Tyler James Robinson and to try to replicate this man's life. Who gonna check me, boo? See, this is more plausible than just saying, we don't know who did it. But, Tyler Robinson did not do it. And you're being very nice for saying that he did. What? No, it's called DNA evidence. Until then, I can give plausible and reasonable allegations of it being George Farmer. George Farmer's got a lot of money. Who said that he couldn't have fake IDs made? A fake passport. Purchase a car with the same name, same date of birth. Maybe a different social, maybe not. Maybe he bought the car in cash, so he didn't even have to, go through the nuances of having a credit check and none of that because he's a multimillionaire. So he can just go buy a car that is similar to the one Tyler James Robinson actually drives. He could probably replicate Tyler James Robinson's life, and it would not interrupt his own in any shape, form, or fashion. And he would be able to financially afford it. Y'all see where I'm going here? See, wouldn't that be more plausible? Yeah, the videos and the photos we're seeing, some of the physical descriptions could fit George Farmer. They could wear the same size clothing, have the same size shoe. Maybe both of them wear size 10.5, maybe 11 men's. Maybe their footprints are the same. Their walk, their stance, their gait are very similar and alike. So when we're looking at Tyler James Robinson, the person, it could be Tyler James Robinson, the impersonator known as George Farmer. Who knows? Now imagine if I could get evidence to support that. That would be more reasonable and plausible. But I have to have evidence to support all of that. Even that would hold up better than this dumb shit that they coming up with. Oh, because you're being kind-hearted. No, I just read the charging documents and I know what evidence means. You mean?
Is all you need in this situation. When you pile up the layers and layers and layers of possibilities and angles and whatever theories Mr. Baron Coleman and Candace Owens came up with, you got to admit that they're some of the stuff that they've come up with does hold water.
Well, okay.
When you layer that, I mean, one at a time, you can say it's not evidence, but when you layer all of those things together, it becomes evidence. And personally, I believe that it's the FBI or the law enforcement that dropped the ball on this. One of two things happen here. It's either they drop the ball with the investigation, or they're in on it outright. And like, I don't know. When you were a kid, I don't know if like when I was a kid, I know we did little misdemeanor crimes, and I know that even back then, a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid, I knew, we got to have a lookout. You look out over there, and you go look out over there, and like one guy goes and commits the actual crime, and you got a couple guys looking for whoever, cops.
The difference is all these lookouts would have been caught on camera. You dumbass! I see what this part. Oh, Joshua Carr, you got the patience of a turtle dove. Dude, you can't play hide and go seek, and you've got cameras all around you on a college campus. No. He wants you all to forget that video surveillance camera footage exists. Never mind the cameras. Never mind none of that. In my alternate reality, this dumb theory is a thing. He said it is virtually impossible to prove me wrong. What? Prosecutor said, hold my beer, you moron.
Whatnot. It doesn't happen where one guy just climbs a roof and says, I'm going to shoot him. Like, there's always a plan in any kind of crime, in any kind of situation, especially a high-profile murder like this, Josh. This is just too hard to believe. It's like, you can't, I mean,
I just don't believe it.
It just doesn't happen this way. Things don't work
this
way.
Yes, it does.
Okay, well,
I know that in your heart, you probably want to believe that, this guy acted alone.
No,
I know in your heart. See, they try to sit here and appeal to somebody like they're doing something emotionally. To all the candy-ass cult members, I don't even have half the hormones to feel half of none of that shit you all be talking about. Trying to appeal to us emotionally, that just don't work on me at all. Not even a little bit. I don't even have when I say I don't even have the hormones to feel half of that stuff emotionally, I just damn don't. That never works over here. What you talking about? I know you want to believe in your heart of hearts. No, I believe the evidence, because evidence is the real thing here in my reality on Earth. You might not be here on Earth. Maybe you're high on mushrooms. It would be virtually impossible to prove me wrong on that. Prove me wrong that you're not drugged up. Candace, you giving your cult members Adderall now? Are you all sniffing it or smoking it or what? I think they're injecting it straight into their eyeballs. Candace is taking Adderall, crushing it up, and adding water to it. And she's telling her cult members, just pulling it in the syringe and inject it straight into your eye. That way, you basically are kind of like giving yourself one of those procedures where you become numb and you don't think for yourselves. And you're getting high at the same time. Yay! And then join me over in the inner circle around the ring of fire and do the Adderall dance with me. Come on now, wave your hands in the air. And then wave them down below. And then wiggle like a moron. And then grow up like a curly worm. And then wave your hands in the air and auto-repeat. This is the point where he's doing the Adderall dance around the ring of fire.
I really don't care. Like, to be honest, I've got no dog in this fight. I've never met Erica Kirk. I've barely met Andrew Colvett a couple weeks ago. Like, I've got no personal connections to TPUSA or business connections at all. But let me address what you just said really quick. I want to address the audience really quick, you guys. If you have a question for myself or Dom, you can leave a super chat below. It does help us to stay independent here, and it helps my channel. And I do appreciate you guys. We'll answer every single question that's in there, even if it's a comment towards me and Dom. I want to give Dom the opportunity to answer questions as well. Let me address what you said, Dom. So first off, this idea of Baron Coleman or Candace Owens can come up with all of these random anecdotal pieces of evidence, and then they're alone not sufficient, but when you string them together, they form a narrative. All that is just storytelling. That's not evidence. Your words exactly were, alone, okay, maybe not, but string together, it's evidence. That's not how evidence works. Evidence works on its own. A piece of evidence on its own may not be good enough to convict someone of something in a court, but it's still a piece of evidence on its own. It should hold up without anything else associated with it. And I see that with the Tyler Robinson case, and we can get into that. The other thing you said, I asked you at the very beginning what your claim about this was, and you brought up people close to Charlie Kirk. My problem is that you're bringing up reasonable doubt when it comes to Tyler Robinson, and I agree with you. We have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. And when I say we, what I actually mean is the prosecutors. I don't have to do that. I agree that they have to prove that beyond reasonable doubt he did it. Otherwise, he cannot be convicted. But I'm just curious, do you not believe that there's actually reasonable doubt for Erica or TPUSA? Like, you're saying that beyond a reasonable doubt, that someone close to Charlie Kirk did this. And why would you say that?
Where's your evidence?
This stuff doesn't happen just because, I'm against transsexual, or it just doesn't happen like that. It's always.
But it did happen like that. It ain't not about the guy? What was the murder in the University of Texas? I'm gonna pull this up because I talked about this in the very beginning, so that people could have something. 1966. Ooh, child, we going back. I brought this up at the very beginning of my reporting on Charlie Kirk's assassination. You all can literally go. I can pull up the video where I talked about this. It was like one of the first 3 videos that I went over. The University of Texas Tower shooting in 1966. This same damn thing happened. Fact check me, boo. To the candy ass cult members, we all know that you dumbasses can't read. So allow me to do it for you. The University of Texas Tower shooting occurred on August 1, 1966 at the University of Texas at Austin when Charles Joseph Whitman, a 25-year-old Marine veteran and architectural engineering student, carried out a mass murk from the 28th floor observation deck of the main building clock tower. To keep saying it doesn't happen is a flat out lie from the pit of hell. It literally happened in 1966. He got the vantage point. He went up 28 floors in the university main building clock tower, went to the observation deck with a damn gun, and he took out people from over 150 plus feet away by himself with no one else. He had no help, no spies, no lookouts, no advancement in technology, none of that shit. They did not have security cameras like that installed. 1966. 60 years ago, this very thing actually happened. To all the candy ass cult members, kick rocks. History will prevail. And you morons will still not read. What are you talking about? This happened in 1966. They didn't even have DNA evidence back then. They had to get somebody that had their own plane to fly over the tower to be able to see what the hell was going on. And then when the police came in, they had to come in from other buildings and get the same vantage point as him to be at eye level, to be able to see what he was doing. The fact that he was able to commit a mass murder on that level, minus all this advancement in technology, with just his own vision and a one gun and multiple bullets from over 100 feet away from these targets for 1966 was unbelievable to them. Now we're in 2026, the year of our Lord 2026. And these dumbasses are saying that it's impossible for one man to go to the top of a building on the roof and shoot someone when this happened in 1966 and he took out multiple people. The hell you mean? It's called reading. It's still fundamental. A little research. This happened. And they still saying that dumb shit because they're stupid. Candy ass cult members, along with Candace Owens and this clown that Josh Carr is talking to, are all dumb. They're dumb as fuck. They're dumb. So anytime they say this has never happened, Charles Joseph Whitman did it in 1966 at the age of 25. And he took out more than one person. And his distance was further for some of his targets than the distance of Tyler Robinson. The hell are you talking about? Whitman had been experiencing psychological distress and suicide ideation for years. The early morning hours of August 1, stabbed his mom to death at her apartment, and later his wife to death. He had already took out 2 people. When he decided to go to the campus on top of that bell tower, 28 floors up. 28 floors. Y'all see that here? 28th floor observation deck. He went up 28 floors. You know how high that is off the ground? 28 stories is a long fall. You would die if you jumped. Now, Candace, and you and your cult members, y'all can test that theory out and go find out what 28 floors is like. Enjoy that jump and that fall. It's going to be hard and it's going to hurt. Yeah, you'll never wake up. 28 floors. This is after he stabbed his own mom and wife to death. To spare them the embarrassment he believed his actions would cause because he planned this. His autopsy revealed a pecan-sized tumor in the white matter above his amygdala. I'm probably butchering this word. It's in the brainstem. Though it was not connected to sensory nerves, some experts believe it may have contributed to his violent impulses. Preparation. Entry. Y'all see this here? Whitman purchased multiple weapons, including a M1 carbine, Remington rifles, a sawed-off shotgun, pistols, machetes, and knives, and supplies, packing them into a footlocker. He disguised himself in overalls to appear as a janitor. Arriving at the tower around 11:30 a.m., he reached the reception area, killed the receptionist, and shot wounded terrorists in the stairwell. Siege from the observation deck. He fired about 150 rounds over 96 minutes, killing 15 people, including an unborn child because one of the students was pregnant, and injuring 31 others. Candace was 15 plus 31. 15 died. 31 others were injured. That means he shot how many people total? Come on, candy ass cult members. You can do it. It's double-digit math. 15 plus 31. Quick before the Lucksters beat you to it, because we know math over here. You can't make this up. With 15 plus 31. Come on, candy ass cult members. 15 plus 31. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Almost there. Don't use your fingers. That's cheating. Add 3 plus 1 and then 1 plus 5. What's the number? All right. Luxers, help them out. They don't know math. Candy ass cult members come into the chat. Do some math. Use your brains for at least 16 seconds. 31 plus 15. 46. Y'all, Tina said, listen, I'm the all-star today. 46 people total. The deck's openings acted as turrets, shielding him from return fire. That means he was able to get down behind the wall of the deck itself. Pure concrete. It's 1966. Defenders, armed civilians, University Police, Austin Police Department officers fought back with 2 officers eventually shooting Whitman dead. They took him out while he was up there. 28 floors up. He had the vantage point. Everybody was in the kill box on the ground. People like bird eye. You know what that looks like up high, 28 floors up? People like miniature pets walking on the ground down there. He got 46 people, 18 died, including Whitman. 31 injured. Historical context. At the time, it was the deadliest mass shooting by a lone gunman in the U.S. history, because this has happened. This is a part of our history. A man went out, shot at 46 people. 15 died, including an unborn child. And he did it by his damn self. So to keep saying that's never happened, Candace lied from the pit of hell. She's a dumb demon. And every Candace ass cult member that choose to believe that bullshit and not read or Google are lying through their teeth at this point because they're stupid. I'm proud to say that. They're very dumb. They are very stupid and dumb. They're stupid and dumb and retarded. They refuse to Google and read. Deadliest massacre by a lone gunman in the U.S. history. Lone gunman. Y'all see the word lone gunman? That means he was the only one. So Tyler Robinson being the only one is very possible in 2026 when it happened in 1966. Fuck. All right. Surpassing the San Isidro McDonald's massacre in 1984. Yeah, because there have been lone gunmen in U.S. history that have taken out more than one person. Media coverage. One of the first mass murders in U.S. history to be broadcast live on radio and television, marking a turning point in how such events were reported. The Texas Tower shooting remains a landmark case in American criminal history, studied for its media impact, psychological profile, and public safety implications. To keep saying this has never happened, it's a flat-out lie from the pit of hell. Charles Joseph Whitman did it in 1966. It took 15 people, including a woman that was pregnant. Shut the hell up with that bull. Talking about that never happens when it happens without advancement in technology. You think these retards would just learn a thing or two? No. I covered this video 3, I believe. And the Candace Owens is a cult leader playlist on my channel. I covered that already because people needed to see this is not something out of the ordinary. We've had this happen in U.S. history. What you talking about? 60 years ago this happened. And that man died right there where he stood. Hell.
Like the majority of the time, somebody breaks into your house, it's somebody you know.
That might be true, but Dom, there may be, let's just pull out a random number here. Let's say 90% of the time someone breaks into your house, they know who you are. But what about the 10%?
Yeah,
that means 10% of the time it still happens.
Right.
So for the claim that you're making, I still need evidence, even if you think it's not the most likely thing that happened.
Right. It's unfortunate because there would be more. The FBI should have handled this case properly. They dropped the ball. They'd be like, you don't. A capital murder case like.
The FBI is not spearheading the investigation. It is the prosecutors in the state of Utah. The state of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson. Because, he went to the state of Utah, committed the crime in the state of Utah. They have jurisdiction over it. It's their case. And it's not uncommon for the FBI to aid in state murder cases. Aiding in Nolan Wells case. You can't make this up. It's not the first time the FBI has assisted in a case spearheaded by the state. The DA's office. Good God. So they read nothing still.
This doesn't just open and close in a week. They need to talk to people. They need to, make sure all the stones are overturned.
Oh
this stinks. There's so many holes in this case. It's like Swiss cheese, Josh. You can't have a high profile murder like this and not make sure that who you got is the right person. It's embarrassing. What needs to happen right now is the prosecution needs to save the day for the FBI. They need to stay this murder trial. They need to say, we're going to put this on. We're going to let this kid go right now. And we're going to properly investigate this. And we're going to do something here because there is just way too much going on. And I mean,
Candace, your cult member's going to get you effed up. If this killer gets released, Candace, you're going to get your ass whooped, period. Bottom line. You already think you're supposed to be dictator of the United States of America. Nope. You want a killer to be released despite DNA evidence because they don't know how to define the word evidence. Because they think that no one in history has ever done this. Well, we can pull up plenty of people who did this. Let's not forget about the Las Vegas shooting. That was one person. And this is the thing. You got somebody that did this going back to 1966. And he didn't have all the automatic weapons like that. He had over 150 bullets. The hell you mean? If they thought like this in 1966 when Charles Joseph Whitman was on top of that bell tower, they would have just let him go free and he would just keep killing people. He took 15 people out. They would have just, these are the same morons that would probably let somebody like a Charles Joseph Whitman go. Well, we don't have any evidence to prove that he was up there picking people off, including a pregnant woman. We don't know that. What? They would let him go free. Well, there's one person or 15 people. He committed murder, and his own defense attorneys admitted it and confirmed it. And he admitted it and confirmed it. He admitted it. You know, because admission is evidence. He admitted to it. That is evidence. Candace is still stupid and dumb. The hell? Boy, this is unbelievable.
The vest, the guy's camera going off. I can sit here for an hour with you, Josh. And we can go over every little nook and cranny about all this stuff. And it's just layer upon layer of,
because you don't know what evidence is.
Law enforcement just dropping the ball. It's terrible. You're going to execute this kid. You want this kid. You really want to put this kid to death, knowing that there is all these questions are around.
Your questions are dumb, and it does not override evidence. That's the difference. They would have let Charles Joseph Whitman go. He murdered 15 people. He can't go anywhere. You got to take him out. No. We don't have any evidence. We don't know if he's really up there. It could be a mirage. Ugh.
Come on. It's terrible. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tyler Robinson did not have anything to do with this. He needs to pay for what he did. His role in this, he needs to pay for it.
Yeah, everyone is on like a totally different place with this, Dom, so I don't want to put you in a box. What do you believe Tyler Robinson's involvement was in the assassination then?
I believe his involvement was, again, I'm going to use the word layers. I think there were layers of involvement. I think his involvement was the same as George, what's George Wynn? Was that his name? The guy that stood up and said, I did it? George Wynn?
Yeah.
Yes. There were.
George Wynn. He don't even know that guy's name, but he wants to sit here and say with a blessed assurance, there's no evidence to put this kid to death. You know, because we don't know what evidence is. And we got millions of questions about the evidence, and we believe nothing and everything at the same time. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
There were a few decoys out there like that. I think he was also one of those kind of guys. I'm almost, I'm 95% certain like you that it's people in his circle that were involved in this.
Okay, based on what evidence? Because I'm only 95% sure of what I know about Tyler Robinson because of what's been presented in court by prosecutors and investigators. None of it, and I mean literally 0%, came from my own opinion or me sitting in my living room thinking about it. All of it comes from actual proof and evidence that's been out there. So I'm just asking for one piece of evidence. I can give you at least 10, but can you just give me one?
I don't know if you can give me 10. What you're giving me is also highly probable. Text messages that.
Well, you believe it or not is irrelevant. It's called DNA evidence, you dumbass. DNA. Stuff that comes out of your body. Let's start with your sweat. Because he looks like he is just oozing milk. Dom looks like he is sweating out Crisco, don't he? I can't believe it's not butter. No, it's Dom sweat.
His furry boyfriend could have put out there.
Can you give me a piece of evidence? Even I understand all of that. I've got 2 points for you on that.
Sorry, Josh. It's unfortunate. I can't give you a hard evidence because if
that is unfortunate, because that's literally all. How are we supposed to believe anything you're saying, Dom, if you don't have evidence? That's crazy talk.
I'm giving you the reason here is because the FBI and law enforcement properly investigated this and done their job properly. You would have probably had a mountain of evidence right now. There would have probably been a mountain of evidence. You would have. You know what I would love to know? How are you totally against every little thing that Candace Owens and Baron Coleman are saying? Do you do not believe any of that?
Well, all I'm asking for, to be clear, no, just to be super clear on this, all I'm asking for, and by the way, I totally believe in investigative journalism, so I'm totally okay with getting evidence from investigative journalists. It doesn't just have to be prosecutors or state investigators like we've had.
Stop making his own Marjorie. Boy, Crisco got nothing on him. Oh, make America fat again. We can't do this. Yeah, I gotta start taking these boob walks. Look at that Dom. I'm like, no, Lord, I don't want to be like that. Dom, are you wearing a bra? Because if not, you need one. There's a lot of stuff jiggling. Oh, Lord. Walla. Y'all, Dom is just jiggling all over the place. What's going on with this neck? Gobble, gobble. You turkey. Gobble, gobble.
All I'm asking for is like one piece of evidence from Candace Owens or Baron Coleman. And what I would counter to you with is what I usually get is calling Erica Kirk Erica Franzfe by Candace Owens, which is just very, sorry, I put a thumbs up. So now my thing wanted to put a thumbs up on the screen. That's funny.
For me, that's the game.
For you. Calling her Erica Franzfe, that doesn't seem to be an investigative journalist thing. That was just a scathing thing she wanted to say. You have Baron Coleman and Candace Owens making tens of millions of dollars off their podcast, trying to string things out as long as they can. You've got Candace Owens just ripping into Erica Kirk for being a Romanian trafficker, even though there's no evidence of that. Anyway, they don't act like investigative journalists because they're scathing and rude. They're also not investigative journalists in that they don't show any proof or evidence. So again, all I'd ask is if you want to cite Candace Owens or Baron Coleman, just show me a piece of actual evidence that they have come up with. And if you can't give that to me, they're not a real source.
What you're asking for is it really is impossible.
Evidence.
So wait, okay. Really?
Why is evidence impossible? You know what's impossible? It is impossible to imagine him being stuffed with cornbread dressing. Dom, you are one big bird. You understand?
Really quick, I just want to,
anybody is totally impossible.
Can I ask a point of clarification just really quick, and then I'll let you talk about it.
Sure.
My point of clarification is you're saying it's impossible. So what has been the point of Candace Owens and Baron Coleman's existence over the last 10 months? You're saying, you're admitting to me, they have not come up with a single piece of evidence.
I'm not saying that. You're asking me for evidence, right?
From them. You can cite someone else.
Right. They're what they're doing, their journalism is overturning stones, hoping to get that evidence. And I think
have they gotten one? Have they gotten one piece of evidence from overturning?
What are they overturning a stone? What stone? Candace, let me tell you something. Boy, this cult is something else, aren't they? Boy, they got to be bowing down and worshiping her 5 times a day. Yes, Master Candace. You got to tell Dom to go walking. Dom, join us on our boob walks that I am definitely going to start taking. You've given me enough inspiration to get enough energy to remind me that I need to drop 75 damn pounds. I cannot. Oh man, you can't make this up. Oh my God. Dom, I feel ashamed when you talk, boy. Yeah, that turkey neck is something else. He said I ruined Thanksgiving.
Turning stones.
I think absolutely they have. I mean,
name one.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the camera, the vest camera on the police officer. Okay, and listen. You probably
that's from the prosecutors. That was from the defense. Excuse me. That's not even from Candace Owens and Baron Coleman. That was from the preliminary hearing. So we don't even need them. That came out on its own.
Police officer admitting that his camera went out.
Correct, in a preliminary hearing, but not from Candace Owens.
No.
So show me what Candace Owens or Baron Coleman or any podcaster has exposed in the last 10 months in their hundreds of episodes. I mean, they have done hundreds of episodes talking about this is explosive. It's massive. This is huge. I just want one piece of evidence. And you would think with 300 episodes, they'd have 300 pieces of evidence, but I'm trying to be very generous here and just say, just give me one.
Yeah. Like I said,
can you admit, Dom, though, that they don't have any? And we can just move on from Candace Owens and Baron Coleman and just say they're total frauds.
No,
you
can't say, you know what? Okay, this is what I don't understand about this whole Candace Owens thing.
I don't understand why she can't define the word evidence. Dom, is it hard? Do you want me to do it? Dictionary.com is your best friend right now. Because you somehow don't believe that in U.S. history, any other person facilitated a murder on a campus by them damn selves. Like, you literally made me have to go back to a case When this happened in 1966 and Charles Joseph witnessed said, hold my beer and my bullets. Are you kidding? All because they don't want to define the word evidence. They can't define it. Watch out. All right, guess I got to do it. Evidence definition for dummies. Hold on, for dummies. Yeah, because we... that's a real thing. Evidence definition for dummies. The available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. As a verb, be or show evidence of. Yeah, I told you I looked this up. Evidence meaning and definition for dummies. Because they're dummies. This is the version they're going to get. Yeah, like small children. Candace. Make sure you tell your cult members, listen, Lady Luck Club, deserves the $10,000 I owe her because she looked it up for dummies. Yes, she did. Oh, God. It's a gathering of a set of facts. Candace, this is not hard. You and your cult need like a vocabulary lesson once a week. You could do this for any word. Just look up the definition of that word for dummies. Non-kid. Because they don't want to insult children because there's a difference. You being a grown-ass dummy versus being a child who may not know or have learned the word yet are two totally different things. So when it comes to the cult, you guys have to make sure you pull up information for dummies. Okay? Gives a very simpleton breakdown of things. They use like 2 and 3 syllable words. It's not very complicated or hard to understand. Because that's how you got to do for cult members. Because they have this hive mentality. All he's doing is reverberating this garbage that came out of Candace and Baron Coleman's dumbass. Nasty mouths. That's all he's doing. They're on auto repeat. They can't think for themselves and none of that. Because they're dummies. That's what we are. So when y'all look stuff up, make sure you put like definition for dummies, okay? That's how we gotta go. Oh my God. Back to the dummy that Josh Carr is debating. Josh Carr, honey, you have a heart of gold to have this much temperament and patience for these people. Y'all hit the 4. Okay. And we're because something's going on with the internet. I need to hit the lottery. Y'all, we have each other's backs in my hood, but boy, I got to get out of it. Y'all. I can't stand Georgia Power at all. I just can't. Yeah, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? God. Who child? I know it's been a journey. Seeing the lights just flash and the internet go off, boy, it makes you appreciate all this advancement in technology for real. I'm telling y'all right now. Power going out and my devices are going dead. Oh no. Why are we over here having a panic attack? I'm not playing. I will get a car charger and go drive around and charge my stuff up. I can't handle it. Oh my God. Y'all hit the phone. Y'all can hear me. All right, thank you. Oh, Candace and her dumb demons over here to try to mess up with my electricity. Candace, I rebuke you and that dumb demon in you. You understand? He was like, go get it. Just try to knock out the electricity. 15 seconds. She going in. Candace, you're an idiot. just plain and simple. Good God in heaven. All right. Y'all, let's get back to this. Can we get back to this with Josh Carr and Dom sweating turkey juice over here? So the job turkey over here, Dom, is trying to tell Joshua Carr that, oh no, I'm not going to denounce my cult leader because, evidence, but no, I don't have evidence to support anything my cult leader said. Because evidence. And they don't know what it means. They just damn don't, y'all. By the way, Patreon is up and running. I told you all I would create Patreon to do music reaction videos because YouTube sucks. They copyright everything. I don't have the time in the day to go back and forth with YouTube. They can kick rocks. So we have Patreon. You guys can go over and subscribe for free for the music reactions, like $5 for the membership to get ad-free content, no ads, no interruptions. That's stock throwing music reactions. We're here for it. This channel was started for that. And when YouTube start cracking down on, oh, you can't react to this music, that music, blah, blah, blah. So many music reactors had to switch and go to doing other content. And so that's what happened. We had to do it. YouTube will not, like, we can't see, I can't fight YouTube all day about a copyright claim. I just can't. And that's the quickest way to get copyright claim with your content. If you sit here, you playing music, it's copyrighted. Some people want to fight it. Go ahead, go for it. Go for the stars. Sue YouTube into oblivion. Do I personally have time to do that? No, I don't. But if there's an option to still be able to do that type of content and just put it on Patreon, Oh, sweet Jesus. It's storming in my area. Yeah. Internet goes out. I'm